Hello everybody. How are we doing today? Well, how are you doing today? I know how we're doing. Jake, how are you doing? I don't know how you're doing.
I'm alright.
Yeah?
Just alright, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing all right?
Right on that center line.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
like
Jake, you
the,
look
the
kind of
strong
hungover. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm tired, but I'm good. Yeah. Mm, No complaints here.
so you're the anchor for the team tonight? At center line, all right.
Yeah, that's it. Just like we said, figure out what we're doing. I think we left
We have
off
no
with
idea.
like Cell's Kingdom rolls, which I think he was only doing because we only had like 20 minutes left anyway.
Yeah, we're trying to like blast through it and set it up or whatever for the next time. And they were like, "Oh, let's get into this next time." Then Cell
Yeah,
got
I think we
Cell got
were
sick.
supposed to be doing Eldamar, but I don't know whether yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Was-
if you were gonna be stuck in the woods with Cell, when he can't talk is the correct time to do it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the times that we would go
That's right.
hiking or camping with your cousin Neil. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I talk a lot, but at least what I talk about is, makes sense.
Hey, listen. At least when we were camping, it was like socially acceptable to not shower. So he was kind of in his sphere. You know.
Yeah, but like if you take a shower before you go camping, like that leads, if it's been like 5 days prior to going camping, you're going in strong, like punching,
It was good.
So-
It was like
skip this
natural
one, guys.
mosquito repellent. That was my thought.
I don't think BO scares off mosquitoes. So I mean, in theory it's better than what it'll keep other things away. Hold on. What is
Small rodents.
literally work just messaged. Okay. Cool. There's just something to talk about tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyways, so chat, just to catch you up. Nick and I haven't been 100%. Though I think Nick is actively on the mend, right? Okay. And Cell has been so sick that he has a voice, but like not really. It hurts to talk. So we're all sitting here like, okay, cool. What are we supposed to do? I think we're supposed to finish Cell's turn before we go to Eldamar. And Cell's like, maybe my turn's a bad idea. A lot of talking doesn't sound like a good idea right now. We should just go to Eldamar. And Nick's like, if we're all not doing great, should we really go to Eldamar? Like, don't we want our wits about us before we go into
Hey, I'm
death
all
pit?
right up here, okay? Yeah, what?
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
How'd you do in your exam on Friday?
I didn't have a test on Friday.
Exactly. You didn't show up to class.
You're right, I didn't show up to class because I went
That's my point exactly. Did you show up to class
because I was
today?
getting a COVID test.
Did you show up to class today?
No, I have COVID.
So I'm all right up here as you skip school. Like, just saying. So, do we have an alternative option from going to Eldamar doing Cell's turn? Because we all just kind of realizing this together as a team right now. And I was like, let's just go live and figure it out.
We just do Nick's turn.
Good.
Yeah.
Although Nick kind of wants that sweet Eldamar BP. It's just
Let's go in there.
That
I'm
is-
good to
yeah,
do
that
it.
is
I'm
true.
I'm all ready. Right? I know how to play a Pathfinder character. It's not that hard. I don't got that many options as Tessel, okay? I really mostly hit things. And then parry.
I'm pretty sure you burnt down an entire forest.
That was literally not me. That was Joey. He trump carded it, and then I rolled a die and it landed
You
on me.
hit? Wow. Wow.
This is true. I refuse to take out of game punishment.
Straight up
for it.
blames
It's
it on
literally
chat.
not my fault.
Do you own any of your mistakes? Nick uses all the luck dice. Joey
I
causes me
counted
to
the
start
luck
forest
dice.
fires.
Sorry, did you cut the luck dice, Nick? Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
It's not my
Rolled and
fault. My
smoked,
spy
okay?
master is
Don't count.
insane. It's nothing is Cell's fault.
No, Natalia is definitely my fault. So certainly, 100%.
I didn't unleash evil spirits for my thirst for power. No, I didn't do anything.
I don't even know what you're referencing. That one's just straight up fantasy.
Oh,
They
you're
willingly
just-
work in the mines.
Throwbacks to the original. Yeah, just come explore this cave. There's no worms down here.
Well, we didn't know there was a fucking worm.
There's always a purple.
Although I will say, after that session, but right before we went into the cave, I was talking with Jake, and I'm like, Jake, I think it's a purple worm.
We all knew it was a purple worm.
Jake didn't know.
I just didn't think, we'd get something a higher CR, like much higher than we were thrown at us, but I was wrong, and I'll remember that.
Never forget you. The purple wormy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I could trust Marsha in the office because Brittany just brought her out and she pooed and peed. So. Trying to see if I could trust her down here. One sec. I didn't mean you had to stop talking. That just meant that. Like,
I saw the pinstripe pajama pants and then
memories. They're not pajama pants. They're chef pants that I use when I'm lounging around the house.
I see.
She eats the fluff. Literally eats the fluff. She's like, "Ooh, this fluff. I'm gonna swallow it." Dad, can you pull this poop out my bum for me?
Is that like a flex? Is your puppy flexing on you?
I think so. I think so. He's just like, "Get my shit. Get it." Yeah, that's right. Yes. They definitely. Oh, you mean background in my office, Will? Or are you talking about like the banner right there? Because the banner has different colors. If that's what you're asking. The background over here is sometimes just I forget. Sorry, she's fighting with me. LEDs, yeah. No, that's just a matter of what I'm doing in the moment, which is being pulled by a dog. Okay, so ow, Eldamar. If I remember correctly, have you showed them the Shadow Realm bit before or no? That was to you, Cell.
What?
You were all here.
This session's gonna be great.
I thought you were talking about your pajama pants, though. Okay, so I was looking at something like.
Oh yeah, and then he referenced the Shadow Realm. They're probably closely related.
Oh, God. The dog is throwing my arm around because I'm not looking to fight back correctly. All right. Sorry. Anyways, so Cell, have you showed them the Shadow Realm yet? Like, have you brought their characters there before or no?
We're about to do that right now. We're leaving.
So no. Have you done it so before? Have they ever seen it before or no?
No, first time's literally about to happen right when we're going to Eldamar.
Do you have a lozenger?
A what?
A lozenger?
I don't know what that is.
A cough drop?
No, I don't.
Because you're probably gonna have to RP through the Shadow Realm explanation to them.
Let me text my roommate. He has one.
Hold on. How do you have COVID and then like not get cough drops?
Because I don't have a car.
Oh, why don't you pick yourself up by your bootstraps and get a car?
Or like,
Nobody wants to work.
or like ask one of your friends to like drop them off at your house for you.
None of my friends live in my city that I go to school. They all elsewhere. And I said my roommate has some. Is that like literally the same thing?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, but like, you don't have your own pack or packets?
No, because I don't normally get sick.
But you've
I'm
known
just
you were
gonna
sick
give
for
you
a
an
week
out
now.
one more time, Sal. You
What?
you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I didn't know, Jake.
I just want to know how Tesla's going to convince Naren to go into another dark hole.
Well, it's not.
Because the last 2 times it did not work out well for him.
I'm just gonna tell you to trust me, and you just gotta trust me.
I don't know.
I'm going to leave that joke alone.
Alright.
I mean, were you trying to make like an Aladdin joke? Like, do you trust me?
No, I'm just the really religious guy is trying to get me to go in a dark room, and I just need to trust him.
Well, I'm
Everything's
not
gonna be
telling you it's
okay.
a dark room.
So I started watching Rick and Morty, and I got maybe like 5 episodes in into like the scene where like Morty gets to choose the adventure, and then he almost gets raped by a jelly bean, and then I was like, I think I'm good with the show.
Yeah, it's
I, was
not,
like, I think that's what I call it. You know,
it's
like
overrated.
the show is weird. Yeah, it's weird and not very satisfying. The stories aren't very good. Like they're just like, hey, look, we said stupid things and he burped in your face, and ha, crazy. And then the 14-year-old boy almost gets raped by a jelly bean, and I'm like, ha 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 ha.
Listen, were you high when you watched it?
No.
That's your problem.
Well,
Right.
no.
Get high and watch it.
Bro, Rick and Morty is just the Ren and Stimpy of the next generation. Ren and Stimpy, also not a good show. You know,
Listen.
like it.
The log song is still one of the catchiest fake ads there will ever be.
Listen, Xylemos just said it's weird and it tells a story if you watch the whole series.
Look, I like Rick and Morty, so
That trend's right. No, that tracks.
Yep.
That tracks. That's the word's good. That tracks.
Are you high when you're watching it?
He lives in Australia. He can't answer that question.
Sure. Good about that.
I live in Massachusetts. I get high whenever I want. Absolutely. 100%. No problems. And I work
Wow.
for a company based in LA. So definitely don't matter.
True. Not wrong.
But all right. Anyways, Shadow Realm.
Shadow Realm. You mean yeah? We're gonna shadow walk.
Yeah. So
We're in
so
the castle of Coven.
okay, yeah, because are you heading out right after, like a day or two, whatever it was, after the whole assassination attempt?
I think the day after, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I
So
think
well,
so.
I imagine it was a couple days later, right? Because of the
I'm not
the
sure.
whole yeah.
Whatever the
Dude, well,
timeline of events.
If like it was like an assassination attempt against another warlord in his kingdom, I'm sure he can't just peace out like 22 hours later. I imagine he has to be there for a few days, right? So I imagine a few days later or whatever it is, your characters will be able to head up. But there's like, I mean, shitty festivities, but festivities there. Jake didn't want to invest into turning it into an event. So like it wasn't that exciting. It was like, oh, okay, cool. I got to see a cool
Well,
match.
I looked at the
This guy almost died,
you know,
but
risk and rewards, and it just didn't add up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And anyways, so eventually it's gonna be time for you guys to head to Eldamar. I guess we'll kind of throw it into RP. I don't know if you guys like all just like taking a piss together and like the John, or where would it be that this situation's brought up? I mean, do they know that they're going to be transporting there instantly, or everybody's under the guise of, all right, we have our commatory. We're about to go and embark on an adventure. Wait!
I think we're probably in the morning meeting at the the map room where we have a map of Kajinksi in his castle, and then that's when Tissel brings up
That's fair. It's a good spot. So he has the map
ability.
there. So you guys are talking about like where it is you're gonna go, and you probably have what's his name, Narin, probably pointing the point of entry. Like, okay, so we're just gonna head into my kingdom. We'll swing by my capital. We'll hook it down this newly laid road up into my new town up in that direction. I can oversee a couple of things, and then we'll use that as our launching point to head into actual Eldamar. From there, I have a general idea of where it is, but how to get there, all that stuff, we're just gonna have to kind of figure it out as we go. Same as last time, same as every time we go into Eldamar. And this is where you'll kind of bring it into that point. Go ahead.
No, run. There's a road to your fortress, you said?
Correct. We've been able to punch through into Eldamar. I believe we're probably almost halfway to the plains on the other side.
Point to it on the map. But you don't have to. Yeah, I know where it is. I'm just saying.
Oh, I
again.
pinged it.
Yeah. Tessel does some head math. I can get us there in a couple hours.
Hours.
Yes.
Good
What
one,
sorcery is this? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Like the
I
fastest
have-
commatory can't get there in but a few days.
I can take 11 creatures as well.
Eric raises an eyebrow at you.
My blood has given me the fusion of my soul with the shadow creature. It has latent magical powers. I have discovered parts of its limits, but it allows me to travel a shadow of this world. Which lets us move much quicker. Traverse the distance in a fraction of the time. As long as there is a carved road, it is a fairly simple task for you to follow it in the shadow version. And then we may be disjointed a couple thousand feet at the worst.
What are the risks of traveling this shadow road?
Have I
Don't
experienced
like that
anything?
smirk on Scott's face.
I've seen like there's nothing that's actually ever done anything, right? I've done this several
So
times.
you were informed that there are denizens that live there, and the likelihood of bumping into them bumping into ones that are noteworthy for people of your skill is slim, right? So long as you stay, the biggest danger is being separated from one another, because more or less you are shall we say, like a bubble of safety. Not truly, but you're like a bubble of safety. You're like a beacon path that they can stay within a certain area of you. It's not defined, and they're safe. But should they leave your kind of like light that you provide for them through the darkness, they can go tumbling away. Like they could just find themselves. They'll turn a corner, and then when they go back around the same corner they came from 3 seconds later, they're in an entirely different location, right? So they definitely want to be close to you, but close doesn't mean like I can smell you. Close just means like nearby. If we had to put into mechanics, within 50, 100 feet, something like that. You just don't want to be, but even that can be greater or smaller depending on the scenario, right? If you're in a dense forest in the Shadow Realm, probably be a little bit closer,
There is risks, but as long as you stay close to me, stay within 10 feet, we will be safe and secure through the passage. you can go further than 10 feet, but the further you go, the higher the likelihood of error happening. You losing sight of me in a magical sense, maybe? I'm not sure.
When I said you don't have to have them so close where you have to smell them, Cell's like, I want to smell them. I have cold. I want to
Yeah,
smell
but
something.
it's not like Tesla's gonna tell them, yeah, you can go 50 feet, no problem. That's like stupid, right? You give them the smallest range possible. So if they go out a little bit, it's fine, you know?
I understand. You're going to be a great parent. You're going to set parameters that your children are automatically
Yeah,
going to fail, and then you have to
I
reprimand them
you know
consistently.
what? I would set a parameter for my child if the failure was permanently getting lost forever on another plane of existence.
Just saying, Sal.
I, I
You have to
I
give them
think
breathing room.
I think that's a pretty fair parameter set in life. All right.
I just like the idea that you can't go further than 10 feet. Then you hear like this noise, and you turn and look, and there Varix is like 7 feet from you, dropping a deuce, and he's like, "What? You want to
Well,
watch?"
I said you can go further, but try to maintain it about 10 feet. It's safe depending on the location. I have estimated 100 feet, but again, it is better to remain close. The creatures that live on this plane should be of no concern to us. I've met someone that has walked the plane, and he seemed he probably was some sort of mage, but he seems much weaker than I am.
Well, through. Mm-hmm. You could absolutely whoop his ass.
Well, I can't say I'm fully confident in the method, but the savings and time is an opportunity I cannot turn down.
It has been the mode of transport I've been using to get to Kabe, which is why I could appear so quickly. I gesture to you, Varix, because if you recall, I sent you a message and then I appeared a couple minutes later.
Yeah, Barry says, that explains your unexplained entrance into the dance hall during one of our festivities. You gotta recall now. I thought you were just sneaking around, sneaking into events you weren't invited to. This makes more
No,
sense.
that was when I said you could be off place a number of feet. That is what happened. I was off place a couple 100 feet and ended up into the middle of a dance hall.
Yeah.
Truly unfortunate.
I mean, you got caught sneaking into the dance hall into somebody else's stuff, and it's a convenient excuse, but I guess. I don't know how I got here. I just appeared. Oh, this is the
He's got a
bathroom?
fistful of
The
panties.
women's
He's like,
bathroom?
"What?"
Oh, shit.
Oops.
But yes, if it turns days into hours, maybe the reward outweighs the risk in this scenario.
It'll be should just be under 3 hours.
All right, well, we best prepare and be on our way then.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you eventually, you guys have your various supplies prepared. You said you could bring yourself plus how many additional animals?
I could bring
Creatures?
11 creatures total.
Now,
including
is this
myself,
one
I
of
think.
those scenarios where like size matters? Like, a large creature counts as 4 smaller creatures and so on?
Nope.
'Cause
It just
usually
says
that's how it works.
creatures touched.
But in the description, it doesn't go into further detail about size.
Nope. Any creatures touched by you when you cast the Shadow Walk spell is transported with you.
Now you have to shadow walk with like a team of like colossal dragons. So they just appear out of nowhere. Like, no.
I mean, doing with giants would be pretty strong. But
Yeah,
the thing
that
is, the
would be pretty
giants are
cool.
likely to get shunted off thousands of feet in different directions.
Yeah, but would you really care if you were like invading into somebody's kingdom and all of a sudden giants got shunted off and they appear in the middle of the kingdom all over the place? Yeah.
11 giants in like 5 different directions, 5,000 feet in differences. Like, fuck, that area is fucked anyway now, right? You got 11 angry giants.
They slip past all defenses, and now they're just in the middle of the heartland, all over the place, wreaking havoc. The giants are happy. They're just like picking up people and tossing like Doritos in their mouth.
Yeah.
Like, this one's crunchy.
But yeah, that's the.
Crap, now I just thought of a military tactic. All right, Jake, you're gonna have to ask Sel for some.
Yeah, but this is like a level 7 or 6 spell, I think. So it's not like anyone has it in contingency, except me.
All right,
What a
so
special
you.
flower.
So you. I don't even think he heard you.
You said special power or special snowflake? No,
I called you a special
Close enough.
flower. But that's good.
flower. I am a special flower, but one that's considered dead by the Fae, so maybe not a flower. Maybe I'm like a moss, a mold, a mushroom. That's what it is. because they're
No,
not like-
you killed them.
No, true. I did kill the mushroom, but I've met a bunch of other mushrooms now.
Fucking finally, you catch the criminal and you peel off Tesla's mask, and he's been
It's a
mice
mice.
the whole time. I would have gotten
right.
away for it too if it weren't for you.
You meddling warlords.
Oh. Anyways,
Terrible. Terrible.
so Nick is the one that's concerned about the magic going wrong. So Nick, prior to worrying about the arrival junting, just in case if anything else goes wrong, why don't you choose somebody in chat? Definitely don't want to go near a name like Apocalypto. That sounds like you're asking for trouble. Why don't you choose somebody in chat that you want to roll a D100 for you and define for me what's bad, high or low?
Neldarath, roll in chat.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm good. Xylomos, go ahead. D100, high is bad.
Zalmo's gonna roll a 69. Hi, puppy. Hi. She's like, I get to be down in your office, Daddy. This is the best. Ow! You're doing it to me again. Okay, cool. Awesome. Less than half. Nothing goes wrong during the travel. So, I believe both Jake and Nick understand what the shadow plane looks like. I believe both Jake and... Ow. She got it from me. Hold on. Can't allow that to happen. I'm the daddy. I win. All right. So, I believe you guys both know what the shadow plane looks like in the meta and so on. So of course your characters are going to be experiencing it for the first time. The strangeness, the coldness, the lack of color. So even yourselves become a bit dull. If you watch that terrible new Thor movie, you can get some visual inspirations for that. But either way, so as your characters are entering it for the first time, how are they reacting to it? There's no fear or anything like that. No will saves need to be done. You're welcome, Nick. But how would your characters react to it that first time kind of going in?
Naren would probably subconsciously like ignite his Naginata and just be very wary.
I think Tesla immediately like taps your shoulder, turn it off. The lights will attract creatures.
Creatures?
I told you there is denizens of this plane. Your light is like a shining beacon to every denizen in the plane.
I hope your crown stays on.
Luckily, it is activated by my will.
Kind of weird that the guy who blows is going into the Shadow Realm.
Good thing that also can be turned off by my will.
Can we get out of here by your will?
Yes.
Good, because I already don't like this place.
No one does. Well, you get used to it. but I believe I have a strange connection to it. So that may be why it's less uncomfortable for me.
Mm. Lucky you were only here for 3 hours then, I suppose.
Stay close, be ready. And then Tesla strides off, assuming you're following him.
Yes.
As you travel through the can't look away from her. Totally ripped this from my hand, but I'm not paying attention. So as you travel through the plane of shadow, kind of like seeing the strange shadows themselves, kind of like stretching out everywhere. The whole world looks at points in time similar to places that you've seen. Your path can literally bring you by Kabe, if not through it, right? Allowing you to, if not Kabe, then the other one, whichever one you travel closer to, allowing Varix to see a twisted and bent version of his kingdom. I'm sure at points in time he even has thoughts like, is this what's happened to my kingdom? Why does it look so twisted and destroyed? What's happening in my absence? Or that's right, you start in Kabe, so kind of like seeing that right away. It's this like
He would bring that up to Tessel because it doesn't make sense. Why is in this place? This is my home. This is Kabe. But it's not. It's twisted. It's different.
I've had much time to dwell on the meaning of it. I've been through my kingdom several times. Remember the fairies forever ago when we first went to Eldamar, and they proclaimed that I was dead. That I was not life, I think, is specifically what they said.
Yeah.
And I could not touch their tree. The shadow plane is a plane of shadows, specters, of creatures that are not infused with life the same way we are. So the way the world takes form, it takes form in a way of not resembling life itself, resembling the opposite to ragged, twisted, corrupted versions. Think of it as the most negative way your kingdom could ever look. But your kingdom does not look like this.
Is the does everything kind of match up? Like, is the waterfront being built, or all that stuff? Like, is there?
It does not line up one for one the way you would expect. Whole areas are missing. Other parts are just like twisted and contorted. Other parts look like your castle. Definitely, like you can see your castle, no doubt in your mind. Yeah. But it's kind of like, think like a fairy tale style. Like the castle looks far more foreboding. You can see like a rolling clouds behind it. No lightning striking or anything like that, right? Because if there is, it's going to be this kind of like dark energy that you won't see a flash of light. It'll have darkness, which is beyond your ability to see anyways. Moving on. So it is not one for one.
Okay. So this place somewhat mirrors our own, although distorted and twisted.
The way I would imagine it, Varix, is that every place that has if you asked everyone in Kabe, what's the most memorable buildings, they would describe the castles or the dance halls or the arena. Those buildings on this plane will be the biggest, the most distorted, the most noticeable. I think it feeds off of the knowledge of those living in our world, and then builds a twisted version of it in this one. So if something isn't memorable enough, but you know about it, it might not ever appear here. But if many people know of it, it will appear in its twisted form, amalgamations of all the negative energy memories people have, perhaps. I am no scholar in this, I spent time learning it from the person I met on the plane, but many of it is just theories.
So there are others here. Looks
There are
like
there
we're
are
alone
natives.
for the most part.
The natives, I believe, are
You've never encountered any form of native creature that is sapiens, to be clear.
yeah.
So the natives that you've seen so far are things like shadows and shades. But you have been warned of much greater and more powerful, frightening creatures here, like nightshades. Those are a genuine concern. You've never encountered them, you've never seen them, but you've been told that
Did
there's something here called nightshades that are frightening.
did Tristan encounter any?
Things like that, he's been warned himself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like but he's actually very studied on this plane. So
Yeah, that's where I assume I got my ranks and knowledge planes is from my conversations with him. So
Yep. Because you also would have talked about other planes, and you also have your advisor, Ishai, or whatever her name is, or their name is, to get more answers from them.
yeah, I got a bunch of people that I like Lenny as well. I got people that know stuff about planes. So it's
I got a guy.
yeah. I've only seen there is dangerous denizens, but I've never seen them, and the people I've talked to have never seen them. It's word of mouth from whoever this person's boss or their teacher was. But as long as we stick without light, it should be of no concern. The other denizens are unintelligent shadows, creatures that prove to not really notice us while we're in the darkness.
I wonder if you built something here, would it show up in our own?
Before
Scott?
you answer that question, you know that there are things that show up in the material plane that are in the material plane that have more that stand more stark here. Because you've been told about dark lights and stuff like that, things that you can use as almost like beacons to help
the
guide a
sending
path.
stones.
Well, no, sending stones, yeah. That's a thing as well. Which to answer the question more directly, yes. But you also know that there are things like the dark lights or whatever you can set up as almost beacons along the way too, to make sure you can travel securely.
Yeah, like was that like lanterns you built in the material plane that could shine in?
Correct.
Yeah.
So my answer to the question was originally the exact opposite is true, and then to answer the question directly, like you said, the sending stones, which literally is exactly what he's asking. So go ahead. But it's almost that what he's asking, because you're actually with the sending stone thing, you're actually bringing it back with you, right?
Yeah. Well, does anyone know if you could build something in the shadow plane? Like if I transported wood with me and I built a house, would that appear in the material plane, or would that stay normal in the shadow plane?
I would say that Tesla never asked Tristan that question.
I think I would have asked that question. That's the type of curiosity question Tesla asks.
That's funny because I don't recall you asking Tristan that question.
Well, yeah, because I've had, because I was.
Then why don't you go ahead and roll me a knowledge planes?
I'm a knowledge engineer, right? I'm an engineer, so building stuff is part of my character's background.
Roll knowledge planes.
Okay, fine, I will. That's really low. So,
the answer is you don't know.
I'm not sure. That is not something that I spent much time dwelling on. There's more important matters at the time.
Maybe something to look at in the future.
I know there is a type of lantern or lamp you can build in the material plane that can guide even the unknowledgeable through the shadow plane. But you could not access the plane without my magics, so it wouldn't be much use. It wouldn't be much use to people other. I'm not sure its use. I guess it could be used in the future if
you're lost.
If someone gets lost, but
yeah. If someone were to get lost, like let's say you built those along a pattern, like a line leading between the three kingdoms, then you could actually, like, if you came across that line, you would just follow it. And then if you were to be like, I'm going to go back and look for them, you'd be able to check those locations and you'd be able to find them because it'd be along that line or whatever, right? But moreover, they also allow you to travel more rapidly. Right now,
Oh,
you
okay.
travel at the speed of the spell because you're moving carefully, trying to figure out where you are, where you're going. But if you didn't have to worry about, if you, it's like imagine knowing the path through the woods and walking through it and tracking through the woods, right? Is a very different speed. So it's more or less like a magical enhancement to make your, like an item enhancement to make your own travel with this spell faster.
It would provide me the ability to move quicker through the shadow plane or guide those lost.
So sorry, and just to take it one step further, let's say you wanted to bring a bunch of giants with you, and they did veer off from within your sphere of influence. As long as they could see those lights, they can find their way to the other end of the trek, right? So it allows you to worry less even as you're traveling, not even collect somebody who's lost, but the likelihood of them getting lost is much lower if you're traveling that path. I'm sorry, continue.
So it would have uses and maybe a potential investment to increase the travel of us through the kingdoms or increase our safety. Well, your safeties.
A new terrain improvement, perhaps.
It could be built.
Well, we should move forward, I guess. I don't like being here any longer than I have to. I don't really have any more questions.
Fun fact: sending stones can be made in the shadow plane.
Make them?
Yeah, it's weird. I was explained the process, but I don't believe I have the knowledge to really pick out what is necessary to accomplish the creation of such an item.
Do you need a reminder of how it works?
I know it's like you have to find. It's like there's specific shadows of rocks that happens at like an exact angle where they're split, and they make two shadows of one item, which is then how that sending stone is made.
It doesn't have to be rocks. It's just rocks are so incredibly abundant across the world, and their lack of value or whatever. So it doesn't matter if you were to use something like a rock, right?
Yeah.
The likelihood of finding it is greater, right? So,
I imagine I don't have the type of discerning eye to distinguish of that.
you don't know
Unless
the
I-
regions to look and so on, correct?
Yeah. Well, I know Tristan was over here looking for it, so maybe I can if I get free time, maybe I can look into getting some sending stones, but
Your character definitely doesn't have free time for that. And the
Yeah,
question
not
would be,
now.
would that be a terrain improvement that your party could potentially get? I would say yes. I would actually say that they're inexpensive too. 1 BP sounds more than enough to be able to affect terrain. So if you put 1 BP on each terrain, you can make like a whole line of them for relatively cheap across your kingdom, right? It can't be less than 1 BP. However, you have to discover how to create them before you can produce them, right?
So that's
So-
up to Lenny.
Yeah. So once it's discovered how, or not just Lenny's also a spy, right? Anyway, so
Oh, true. Actually, not wrong. Good statement.
once you have the discovery of how they're made, though, I'd say 1 BP per hex, and that would be able to give you like like along the road, you'd have one every so often for that hex, because magic items aren't very expensive to craft for something so basic like that, right? Anyways.
Yeah, but it's
You can
also
find
super,
branches
super
of
niche.
sending. Yeah, Xylowish, you can absolutely find branches of sending. You find anything you want. You could find like a fucking double dong of sending. It doesn't really matter. Whatever
And
whatever
you
gets
can
you
find
going.
like you can get like a ruby ascending and then embed it into an Urim.
Into your what?
Into an Urim.
Oh yeah, sure. Whatever you'd like. You can
Which
get
would be
any
kinda
object.
sick. Because that's like thematically cool for ascending stuff.
Bro, you find a castle of sending.
Is there 2 shadows of Jake's castle? Damn. Well, I think that's my only chance, Scott. At last of my checked.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh, and the reason why value doesn't matter so much is because once you take the shadows out of the shadow plane to produce these items of sending, it the actual physical object that exists in the material plane loses its shadows, and it becomes significantly more brittle, more fragile, because it's lacking an aspect of itself, right? So the idea of like, if you were to take double shadow of Jake's castle out, somehow travel the castle out, Jake's castle would become brittle, bad. So
Okay, but imagine
So-
if you
so
found a
wait a
way
minute.
to actually like cause something shadow to split, and then you just like nuke someone's city by like
Yeah,
taking all their
yeah.
big buildings and splitting the buildings.
and you taunt them with the sending.
And then you say, yeah, right? That would be. I mean, obviously, it's like super high level magic. I think to do something like that, but that's just such a
Oh.
good troll. Someone's castle they spent a year working on, split.
Well, likely that's not going to happen. Doesn't exist. Or I should say, it is so exceedingly rare. It is effectively doesn't exist. I'm sure it's somewhere on the planet, but nowhere around that we have to worry about. So, all right, cool. Good. Cool.
Good.
All right, so while traveling, anything else, anything of note, anything you characters? Naren was pretty quiet during all this. I'm sure he's taking it in. Does Naren not have any observations or any statements that he wants to make about it, or?
No. It's incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's off-putting, but it's not like it's not like it's physically uncomfortable. It's just off-putting. Go ahead.
Yeah. And more or less almost kind of dreading what he's going to see when he passes through his cities.
Do you need to pass through his cities? I actually wasn't looking at the map.
If we're taking the road the whole way, we're going to pass through my capital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's flash forward to there because you get there so fast. Like literally, it's one of those things where the conversation starts there. It was supposed to only be in the realm for what we say, like 3 hours or whatever it was. It actually ends
Just
up
under.
taking longer than that, just because Jake's character was asking a lot of questions. So you can imagine 20 minutes of being in the Shadow Realm, asking questions and discussing like all these strange things and whatnot prior to starting the trek. But then the crazy part is, I imagine everybody falls pretty quiet. There's like this innate somberness that exists in the plane of shadows that would kind of draw conversation to come to a standstill. Whereas that took literally days of traveling when you were in the Underdark. It took, maybe a couple dozen minutes here for that to happen, if not quicker. Now, if you had a particularly like chatty bard who had some really like powerfully uplifting music, that might be a different conversation, like Good Hope or what have you. But for your crew, it's very sombering. So, it like anything else, when you get kind of like downtrodden, kind of like fall into your own head, time passes by quicker than you expect, right? So it's one of those things where you blink and you're like, holy shit, it's been an hour. Well, with that being said, and the speed that you're traveling, all of a sudden you realize not that you're approaching your city, Nick. Not that you're approaching your city, but that all of a sudden you're like at your city. You're like there looking about it. And similarly, you can see just the strangeness of it, the twisted, bent nature. To start touching on the question somebody else mentioned, one of the things you might look about, because unlike Varix, who's more invested in beyond his own bloodline, which he only loves because it's his bloodline, he's invested in the structure of his kingdom and the legacy he leaves behind in the structures he builds, like a giant statue to himself and a castle in his name and so on and so forth. Naren is a little bit different. Naren, being of the lawful alignment and not evil, he's actually more invested in the people. And so less worried about the structures at first, I imagine, though inevitably will be. Looking at the people, you've noticed something. There are many shadows here, to be clear. You do see many shadows exist in the area that is your home, and many shades exist in the area that is your home, but not your citizens walking about. Not as far as you at least believe it to be. They're floating about and moving in places and ways that you don't expect are related to your people themselves. It almost looks like just barely across this thin veil, whatever separates your plane from this one, there are countless foes that are just waiting for a way to come into your home. But the people themselves don't seem to be represented here in this kingdom. When it comes to shades, I'm sure Sel's character has a somewhat of an understanding. And I think Jake's character has an understanding as well. Nick, unfortunately, I don't think your character does. But with this knowledge and this perception, why don't you go ahead and your own character's reaction?
My immediate reaction would be like, Tessa, what is this?
Well, just as the constructions we make have their twisted representations in this realm, there is also the denizens. That is what these shades and shadows are. Whether they are the twisted corrupted parts of the souls of the people that live here, or natural entities that have formed and are born in this plane, I'm not exactly sure. But they cannot access our plane. The Barren Lands is a place where the border is thin, which is why shadows can appear at random. But we are in Kajinksi. The border between the planes is much stronger, so it is nothing to be concerned about. This has always been here, Naran, and it will always be here.
That you know that they're attracted to areas where there are high densities.
I do not like this. You say these beacons that you spoke of, can they drive these things away?
It's never been tested.
Yeah. You don't know, but there is the question and concern that it might actually attract more of them. Because a beacon is a beacon.
I believe Tristan said that the type of construction, or it was Lenny, that it would provide a light, which, as I said, attracts creatures. So the building of the beacons could draw in more, but I don't think it's a concern. These creatures have no way of accessing our plane, and if they did, well, I think we would have plenty of problems to deal with.
This is concerning. Also, why does Ryan look the same?
Ryan's just sitting there looking at you with a pallid blank stare. Actually, he doesn't look the same. In the shadow plate, he just looks like Anna.
He looks normal.
He looks a little younger, actually.
Yeah.
A little more full of life. No,
Ryan, you're less crusty.
if you think this is bad, imagine the sight of Kajinksi Ho. There would be many, many, many more shadows. It is just the fact of life. This plane exists, and the creatures of it will exist here. If
you were to be attacked here, could you not just return, or would you bring the creature with you when you did?
Upon using my ability, I create my power of returning to the material plane only affects those creatures. It does not work vice versa. If I cast the spell on this plane, I would not be transported back to the material plane. We are temporarily in the shadow plane and are transported back unless you choose to walk off. Then there's a chance you will permanently get lost there.
Noted.
And stop giving people ideas, Alamos.
That's specifically the line. So, it's when I cast a spell. So, 。 And I can snap us back into the material plane at in an instant. But even if a creature attacked us and came back with us, we would surely defeat it swiftly.
Well, we're almost at our destination of Karamasu, my new city. Let us be on our way. This place makes me uneasy.
Did you wish to take a look at your other city on the lake that you have formed?
No.
I'm just trying to get where I am on this map. So when you guys cross the border, the intangible border that just naturally exists between what is Kijinksi proper and what is Eldamar, the shadow plane becomes a bit different. First and foremost, once you're surrounded by all of those trees, and you're able to see the twisted and contorted nature of those trees, to say it looks like a cursed forest is a gross understatement. Another thing is that while the shadow plane seems to lack color, with even your own colors being fairly muted, a small degree of them, kind of like somebody would turn I think it's what called the sepia or whatever it is, turn it way down, but there's still, you can see the residual small amount of color off of, like, say, your purples and your reds and your blues or whatever. It's just turned way down to like grayscale, and grayscale is all around you. As you enter Kijinksi, you notice that it's a little bit different. Sorry, Eldamar, it's a little bit different. There is color there. The trees themselves, the vibrant greens, aren't particularly vibrant, but they are showing green. The bark of the trees is in fact showing through, whether it be a brownish bark or a black bark, whatever it might be. Puppy wants to go upstairs. I keep describing. Last thing I want to do is not do what she asks, and she shits on my floor. So, give me 1 second.
Which makes sense. And I think even Tessa would probably understand that before coming here, because the forest is positive energy. And I think it's intuitive. If there is a shadow plane, which is a imprint of negative, then there probably is imprint of positive, which out of game is like the Feywild or whatever. The first world, I think, is what the Pathfinder naming of it is, which is like where the world is like super full of light.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Didn't you play the Kingmaker?
Yeah, but I didn't listen to it.
You didn't? Okay. What? It was like the whole plot of the game.
Oh, you know.
All right, sorry. So
The plot of the game was killing mobs and gaining levels. So collecting.
No, it's the plot.
Yes.
The plot of Kingmaker was quite nice. Okay, you're cringe.
So I bring Marsh upstairs, and I'm like, oh, she wants to go upstairs, and Brittany goes, hi, Marsh. And so Marsh gets excited and starts sprinting over at her, and she's like a bull, you know. She's like, I'm just not gonna stop until I hit you. And so then Brittany's like, ah! As Marsh, she like dive bombs on her, like, ah! It's just so funny because she thinks she's like a 10-pound dog, but she's not. She's just dense. She's so dense in every way you can imagine. Oh, it's so funny. All right. Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah. So as you guys go into the Eldamar, you notice that the greens of the trees actually shown out as vibrant. You know what I mean? Like, not vibrant. Sorry, they can actually start to show. The browns of the bark actually stands out, or the blackness of the bark, whatever it is the bark color might be, actually stand out. But you can also notice a couple other things as well. The forest is, everything here seems significantly more dangerous here than it felt like if you were just traveling through the plains or the hills or whatever of Kijinksi. things just seem twisted. You had a good plan of how to get here, but you've never traveled the shadow plane in Eldamar, and things here are different. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tesla says like we're getting at the first trees, the Eldamar. Now, everything I have said so far is true for going through our towns and the hills and plains of Kajingsi. Eldamar may be different. It is a place full of life, which is the opposite of the shadow plane. So it may harbor things that are more living than shadows. I do not know.
So might it be wise to exit here and enter Eldamar like we normally would?
That could be the option, but it'll take much longer.
Yeah. So if you, because like I would say like maybe right even no snap. I would even say like you're starting to notice this like right about here, because like if you look where that line starts for me, because prior to that, it's like you've cut down enough trees and whatnot that you don't really have to worry too much about it. So you're about 25 miles. How fast do you travel? 50 miles an hour?
That'd be 30 minutes.
It's a difference of 30 minutes or 2 days. You know what I mean? And you could say that. So he brings up the suggestion, maybe it's time to the end out here, and you would know the difference between 30 minutes, 2 days. So I'll let you drop back to RP.
It would take us but half an hour to travel to the fort, saving us 2 days. I believe half an hour of risk is worth the reward of saving the time.
To try to find
to get to the fort. The road will guide us still. And it's not like Eldamar would not be without its own dangers.
Then let us march.
Stay extra close. This is where going too far could be very dangerous.
Alright, so we all hold hands and walk down the yellow brick road? Or?
Yeah, except it's instead of being yellow, it's like a grayish yellow. It's disgusting.
What's grayish yellow? Sorry.
The yellow brick road.
Yeah. It's actually, instead of being yellow, it looks like the skin color of that like nasty character in Sin City, the one that fucking Die Hard killed at one point in time. Bruce Willis eventually killed. You know what I'm talking about? The governor's son. You know what I'm talking about? Do you guys see Sin City?
A long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, the really creepy, I mean, I was trying to avoid saying this, but the really creepy rapey one. Like, you know, that guy. And they eventually, he
with
literally
all the tourniquets. Oh, was that a different one?
he like shoots off his penis and stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
It's so nasty. Yeah. It's like that color yellow. like really creepy, almost like neon, but like stomach turning yellow. Oof.
Like if he didn't quite die from jaundice.
Yeah. Didn't quite die from jaundice under a black light. Yeah. Anyways, so where were we? Yeah, so you were walking in. So this is what you say, and it sounds like you guys decide to walk the last 30 minutes. One of the things you notice is you're moving these last 10 minutes into these last 30 minutes. In that 10 minutes time, I want all your characters to go ahead and roll me perception checks. Don't worry about it. See, don't worry about it. Tesla's got it. Of all the people to roll natty 1, though, he's the worst perception. It's okay. Okay. Of all the people to roll natty fucking 20, it's the best one. Nick, do you even have to roll at this point? Like,
should I? My perception is terrible. But
you should, of course.
You know what it is? I'm so focused on keeping us on the path, and that's why I'm not like noticing other things.
That is the Nick roll. So why are these displaying slightly funny? There we go. All right. So yeah, all right. So yeah, whatever excuse you have, sir. So as you guys are moving along, it's Varix who is a kind of a keenness, like a penchant towards undead things, right? Not saying that these creatures necessarily are undead, but he understands shadows and shades. He's encountered them before inside the Barren Lands. They are a problem there. This is an old man that has had to fight these beasts, these pests in the past. So when he sees creatures moving through the forests, it is concerning. To describe them, they're not particularly large in size. Smaller, I suppose, than the average human. Maybe about the same size as the average Karak, right? But very slender. Whereas a Karak tend to be kind of like thicker in their build. They're very, very slender. They have these off of, unless they're wearing headdresses or whatever it is, that was hard to see. They have this almost like a head of spikes or feathers or something that's rolling down off the top of their heads, down their backs and whatnot. But you can definitely tell they're bipedal because you can see their legs moving. You can see their arms grabbing at the twisted branches as they move throughout it. You can see these creatures are very, very rapidly moving, and they're very much in tune with the environment around them. And the freaky part is you genuinely do not know, Jake, if there are several or if there is one, because it moves so quickly. It moves so swiftly. It is difficult for you to check. I think you've cast a spell before, so I'm going to use this example. To say it moves swiftly, it looks like this creature almost innately, if not innately, moves the way that you would under the effects of a haste spell. So I think you've cast that before. Like it moves so quick. But then at some point in time where you swear you've watched it, it's like you ever chase a fly into a room, and as soon as you enter the room, you're following it, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Where the fuck is it? And like 2 seconds later, it's in the exact opposite side of the room. You're like, there's no way you got there. There's no way. It's like one of those scenarios, right? Where it moves so quickly, so deftly out of your perceptive abilities, even with your 34, that you're able to notice it exists. You're able to notice it moving, and you're able to notice it again. But like how it got there, you genuinely just have no clue. Again, you don't know if there's one or several.
Let's see. Varix would say, I would like, we're being followed, is what I'm getting, right?
Maybe followed? Yeah, I would say, because it was over the course of the past 10 minutes. Yeah, maybe followed. Yeah.
Varix just turns to you both and says, I'm being followed. Some type of creature moves extremely fast. 1 minute it's there, the next minute it's somewhere else. I can't tell whether it's one or many. So far, it's just been watching us, I assume.
How many minutes left till we arrive?
Like I said, that was 10 minutes, so you have about 20 minutes left to the arrival. So.
We can wait and see if it strikes. But every minute we wait here,
More could come.
Either move forward or drop out.
What was that, Nick?
Said we either move forward or drop out.
This is your area of expertise, Tesla.
I imagine you're saying this as you continue to walk forward because you're walking at 50 miles an hour. So to stop doing so would be foolish. You're now 19 minutes away.
We could try and get a shot off on it.
Not wise. If it's not aggressive, that would make it aggressive. Have your weapons ready. Let us just continue moving. If they strike, we can take them. I have no doubt.
Varix, you get a +5 to this, but everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check as you move into the last 10 minutes or so. Tesla's so focused on just trying to make sure they don't get lost.
I mean, it's super fair. I mean, I probably should take a negative modifier to it anyway. Holy shit.
Well, Varix got a +5, don't forget. So,
Yeah.
Either of you want to luck those?
I mean, technically, if I'm aiding Barracks, he gets +4.
Independent searches. Yeah.
I'll luck it.
Look at Sal using all the damn luck again. Barracks, did you want to or no?
Oh, I didn't realize.
I feel like I should.
Go ahead.
Hopefully we don't get caught off guard. 27.
Once again, you both notice this thing, not because you clearly rolled way worse than last time, right? But what it is that the thing is moving. I wouldn't even say more carelessly. It's just that it's moving so much closer than it was before. It is getting much closer, and it's close to the point where you can see that this thing does have facial features. You just can't make out what they are because they are so dark. Do either of your characters have dark vision?
Yes.
I do.
Cool. So both of your characters, one of the things you can notice is that while you probably wouldn't be able to identify this thing if you had 5 of them in a lineup, right? The features themselves look very angular, very sharp. They look, they almost look like an aged parrot. Like they have these, like, for Nick and how your character would understand it, Fey-like features. They are beautiful in the design of the cheekbones and the structure of the face, so on and so forth, as it's moving in and trying to get closer sight. But one of the things that you do notice, both of you, as it is closer and following you, is it definitely has a weapon in hand. It has, maybe it's a javelin, a spear, maybe it's even just a walking stick. You're not 100% sure, but there's definitely something in its, like some sort of shaft in its hands as it's making its way along. Oh, it could even be a bow. An unstrung bow? You're not even entirely sure. As it's moving its way quickly. Always seeming to be a little bit ahead of you, observing you once it notices you're catching its eye. So once it catches your eye, it slips back away again and starts observing you from a very different angle. It very much gives you like that Tinkerbell / Peter Pan kind of feel of how it's always there. But you don't get the impression that it's going to be as benevolent as either of those creatures. It definitely creeps out your characters a bit, but again, no will saves or anything insane like that.
We're running out of time before it strikes.
You're about
Yeah.
9 minutes away if you were counting minutes, which your characters obviously can't, but you know that you're so many miles away. So,
It's armed.
Yeah.
Once more with feeling.
We have less than 10 minutes.
Once more with
This
feeling.
thing moves against us. Can we drop out?
Yes.
I'm not sure I can strike something that can move that fast.
Once more with feeling.
At least not before it strikes me several times first.
It takes me an action, I think. But a moment to exit the spell as I read it to see what's the... It doesn't say what type of action it is to, like, end the spell, so I assume it's an action.
yeah, usually dismissing a spell is a standard action.
It will take me a moment to do so, in which it may have time to strike.
All of us should be on guard and ready. If it comes closer than it's already gotten, either take us out of here or we're gonna have to deal with it.
Look
Right.
threatening. You may have it. You may ward it off for the little time we need left.
Sounds like you guys are preparing an action to attack if something comes within range.
Very
That sounds about right.
Cool. Why don't you guys go ahead and make me perception checks? Not Tessel. You failed too consistently, and and you
And this is
also
the first time I don't have a -2. That trait
just-
really is killing me.
Just flat.
yeah, perception. Yep.
Oh my god. You don't even need.
Well, now let me roll mine. You beat me, sir. So, as you guys are grouping up and getting ready, all of a sudden, like as he's like, all right, here it comes, you know, like, or however he says, however he initiates it, like, you know, whatever it might be, places his hands on either of your two characters and gets ready to prepare the magic. Right as he's about to do that, as he is releasing that magic, you can see this thing throws itself from over your head. So, among the canopy of trees that are overhead, it launches itself face forward in like a corkscrew, like a spiral downwards, with a spear in hands, launching itself over towards the group of you. Jake, you had prepared an action. That means technically you get to attack first. Are you just doing a regular attack, or are you doing something else? What are you doing as your single standard action?
Yeah, he's attacking.
Sure. So just a flat attack.
So just
Okay.
yeah. I don't think because yeah, I'm just gonna attack. I always power attack, so that's just always on.
That's typical.
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
Power attack is really good. Ah, not a crit.
1 second. Sorry. So the attack is 27, is a pretty solid attack. Jake, you have a 50% mischance, which means it's odd to hit. You can either roll yourself or ask somebody in chat to roll any die for you.
Just roll.
The best natty one you've
Let's
ever seen in your
go.
life, right?
Boy did not one. W.
Wow. That was a sexy natty one. You actually successfully hit with your 27 chance to hit.
Beautiful. 23.
That beautiful. 23 points of damage. So that's just a standard attack for 23 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the things I would say right off the bat is you absolutely connected with this creature. So as you see it like corkscrew swinging down, you do like a big heavy swing with your sword. You absolutely do connect, and you can feel it ripping and cutting through. You don't know if maybe it's its flesh, if it's the clothing it wears, what have you. Your attack is a little bit less than you expected it to with the intensity of the attack that you just did. It didn't quite cut as deep as you expected, but it still cut pretty deep, more or less 5 DR. But it still cut pretty deep. However, that amount of damage wasn't enough to fell the creature, and it's not like you threw it off of its course with, like, let's say, a grapple or a pushback or a knockdown or anything like that. So it continues its flight path or its fall path or launch path, whatever, towards Cell's character. And so I'm going to attack Cell.
Would that provoke an attack of opportunity for me?
You didn't see it coming. I will allow you a reflex saving throw to see if you can kind of react seeing his like "Argh!"
Save some sort.
Oh, that's solid. Yep, I accept. Only downside is it would not be at reach. It'd be within 5 feet. I'm not sure what weapon you had at hand.
No.
Can Nagi be choked up on?
I believe I can fight at 5 feet. Yeah.
You believe you can fight at 5 feet with it?
Yeah.
Isn't it a reach only weapon?
I don't believe so.
Let me look up Naginata. Sorry, Pathfinder Naginata. It doesn't usually come up because you're good to go. Yeah, so it's a reach weapon, which means that you don't attack 5 feet adjacent. You attack the next one out. Oh. Of course, you're gonna be a pain in my ass. Yeah. So, unless you have some sort of feat or skill or ability that allows you to choke up on it for close. Yeah, because it's just a reach weapon. So that means 10 foot, but not 5 foot. Oh, if he's dropping it. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty close by. So you'd be able to like your reaction would be enough to swing around and attack. But unfortunately, he's just outside because if that's the weapon that's in your hand, it's a reach weapon. He's just outside your thing. So you kind of like you swing and you just like whiff, and it's almost like you just barely like miss like right at the back of the heel or whatever it is, right? So you just barely missing the attack. Cool.
That is good
No
question.
Snaga.
My Kamatori can attack.
It would have to make its own perception check and so on and so forth, right? So, yeah. These are prepared actions, which a prepared action is a little bit different for an animal than it is for a person. It's because it's not sapient, is it? I know it's special, but I don't think it's sapient, is it?
It does have a ton of intelligence, and it's an animal companion. So.
What's its intelligence?
Intelligence is 3.
Okay, yeah. So it is technically, by rules, technically sapient. Can't really understand the language, but you know it is tech. I think it can understand the language, but can't speak one or whatever the rules are. Sal, I'm going to roll against you now.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for
You
this?
could do that. Yeah, I am.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Am I able to react in any way?
No, you're casting a spell. That is.
I'm
your
not
action.
casting. I'm using a standard action. Yeah.
You're. This is literally as you're doing that. They're springing as you're doing this, right? It's in the middle of your action.
I can't be flat-footed.
Sal, don't worry, I got you.
Well, I mean that barely hits me, but yeah.
Sal was a touch attack.
Oh well, fuck you too. Okay. Well,
so
fuck
you guys
too.
are twisted and warped and brought back to the material plane, but you bring something with you. As you immediately are have
wait,
your
that's not
senses,
that's not how I get to choose what creatures come with me, Scott.
as your senses are adjusting for the pale sunlight, Sel, your character instantly is comfortable with the area around you. You've switched back and forth between the planes comfortably, and you are equally comfortable. So you have experience, and you're equally comfortable on both planes. For these two, they're very disoriented. So for them, I'm going to give them -10 to their. Thank you, Brittany. Sorry, I forgot to say thank you. Hopefully you heard me. She brought me broth. She heated up broth and brought it for me. I didn't even say thank you. I just took it because I was in the middle of talking like a dick. Wow, bad husband. Anyways, so yeah, back to you. So yeah, they get a -10 to their perception check. Sir, you get a full regular perception check.
Well, I know it's here. I know it touched me. This is like without a fact. I don't think I right.
You're fully aware of its presence. It's a matter of description.
Description. Okay, because I think immediately I'm gonna whirl and attack it. To be clear, I'm a swashbuckler. I can do that, but I will roll your perception. It's the one time I should have rolled high.
Okay. They have a -10 they're rolling for right now. Okay. Nick, is that with your -5? Or -10, sorry.
Yeah, I only have a 10 to perception, so it's just.
Do you want me to luck it, guys?
Cool. I mean, you have the highest roll. So do you have any other way of modifying it as well, or is it just that?
I just luck.
You may as well.
Go ahead. Yeah.
20.
There you go.
Cool. So With your 20, you actually are able to get a good sight of this thing. They're just disoriented. They're literally feeling like the world around them is slowly coming back into color. The world around them is starting to kind of like shift. Everything's moving much more slowly compared to what it was before. I think how rapidly they were moving. Everything around them is starting to like slow down, which is giving them almost like drag lines, and they just feel like spun about. Like if you've ever been really drunk and got the spins, that's kind of like how they're feeling at the moment. But luckily, unlike being really drunk, it'll wear down in seconds as opposed to hours. Anyways, so what feels like days of dying. Anyways, so you actually get a good sight of this creature. First and foremost, that long spiky things that you see on it, you realize now that's actually a type of like hair or whatever it is that has feathers tucked into it. So it gives it almost think like Sonic the Hedgehog. It gives this like long spiky kind of headdress look coming down to the creature, to the small of its back or to its to its ass, but and stands very wide as well. It bushes out. It has this like absolutely beautiful dark skin with these eyes that are incredibly light. If it has irises or pupils, you can't see them in this quick glance. It does have very angled features that does look very Fey-like too, like I said beforehand. It is in fact holding a weapon that looks like a spear, and you can see that as it like lands on the ground, the reason why you're able to get the sight of it, the glimpse, is because as it lands, it drops down, it clutches its side where clearly Varric had cut it, and it's like holding. You can see blood kind of like pouring around its hands, down its fingers, and it kind of like looks up at you and gives a bit of like a snarl, and then turns and springs off to leave. So turns and springs off. Cell, me and you are gonna roll an initiative.
Yeah.
Me and you are gonna roll an initiative. If you go first, you're welcome to attack. If you don't, then you're not.
Do we not get an initiative at all?
You guys are disoriented, not this round.
Yeah,
And it'll be
so
gone pretty quickly
this
after.
round.
Yeah, but it'll be gone pretty
Well,
quickly. So unless you have a means of teleporting or whatever,
How fast can it move though? Because I can move faster.
you'll find out in a moment. So you might be able to move faster, but you'll find out in a moment. So
If you teleport it out, that's just dodgy as.
it's not
Okay.
teleporting. It's not.
I got a
teleporting.
winning. Can you use a winning on initiative?
Just a 20 roll, right?
You might be able to, but somebody did just give you a disadvantage on your initiative roll.
Luckily for me, that disadvantage doesn't exist in Pathfinder.
Yeah, they still gave it to you, and it does exist in Pathfinder. Advantage exists in Pathfinder as well. There's definitely a roll twice, take the higher and take the lower that exists. Look
Yeah,
at
but
witches
they're not
and
called
feats.
advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, but I use terminology that you're
take your
familiar
L.
with. Okay,
Take it.
It is not technically disadvantage, but roll
There
the
we
fucking
go.
die. Okay.
So
This is
I'm
my
gonna-
roll.
gonna use my plus 5 here. So let me just check if anything can boost my initiative.
That +5 would absolutely modify it twice, just to be 100% clear. It modifies both rolls.
What do you mean both rolls?
So because you're rolling not disadvantage, you have the +5 for both rolls, of course,
Oh, wait, why am I rolling disadvantage?
because you were cursed.
What? No, I refuse that curse. You can't make my dice worse because of a curse. You gotta
That's literally what curses do. They make bad things happen.
What?
It's either that or like something automatically happens, but instead it's just you get
This
tripped
is
up in the transition.
cringe. Joey, I think it's Joey, and I think he's cringe. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, you've said Joey was cringed many times.
Yeah,
For
but I
many
think this
reasons.
one's very justified.
Like you blame Joey for arson, by the way.
Well,
Totally not cool. Roll the second one
yes.
first.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, what, Joey? You don't think I'm gonna suspect it's you? I don't see anyone else chatting. It might have been Steve.
But did you see Apocalypto just give you the winnies? Oh, okay, yeah. He told
Yeah.
you and so on. Cool. So, anyways, so the creature is able to go first, and so
Does
it uses the withdraw action. So
Okay.
where it's standing
That's
is
a
not
standard
considered-
action.
So no, withdraw is a 4-round action,
Okay. Cool.
Yep. and so it can double move to get away, and that double move, of course, is going to bring it into the. Why are you? That's how
If
withdraw
it's a-
works.
A full round action.
Withdraw
If-
is a double move. Yep.
Okay, because Yep, I wasn't
So
sure.
so it double moves into the trees, of course, so off the road and into the trees, and starts trying to immediately hide itself amongst the trees. But it absolutely beelines and darts out of there as quickly as it can. Cell, Nick, you would have been able to get an attack of opportunity because of your weapon, but obviously you were disoriented for the first thing because, like I said, the first square, but not the second square, which you would have been able to hit. If you guys care to continue giving this thing chase, whatever it is, you can go ahead and roll initiative and figure things out while Shadow figures out his turn.
Oh, I didn't.
Nice. Varix can try to luck it to see if he can potentially... Do you have improved initiative or no, Varix?
I do.
You do? You have improved initiative?
Yeah.
If you luck it, you have a
Yeah.
25% chance that you automatically will act before it acts again. You just have to roll a 4 to match.
Oh,
because
wait.
we both have improved initiative. You take the win.
I get my turn though, right?
Mhm.
Before. Yeah.
We're setting you up.
Where is it?
We're setting up. It beelined off the path. And
Is
into
it
the
in a
woods.
tree?
It beelined off the path and into the woods. You don't know exactly where it is. It
Okay.
broke line of sight because it has cover and concealment.
Well, I guess I'm gonna just chase after, right? I mean, it's all I could do. I'm gonna fail my perception check, and then it's gonna be it for me at
So
least.
you're gonna do a move at a perception. what you said?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna move first.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I see it.
Yep.
I'm gonna use a
Or
swift
move at a
action.
perception.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily need a perception if it's obvious, if it's like
Oh
standing
no,
up.
it's no because it has cover and concealment. So it's hard to see.
But I mean, sure. But if I know exactly where it went and I run through the same bushes, unless it's
Mhm.
like, I mean, like it has to hide from me.
I'm telling you, this thing is hard to see.
Okay.
It's
Well,
an
I mean,
ability. It's just it's hard to see.
I
That's
get you.
why 20% chance becomes 50% chance and so on. Yeah.
I guess I'll roll the perception. I have 50 movement speed this round.
Man, I should become a sponsor. I should get a sponsor, sorry, for some type of bone broth, so I could be like, get boned. You know, like it's so good. It's so good. I love bone broth. It's delicious.
I rolled a 22. I should probably be able to see it.
You think so, but you saw its perception is stealth. No, but it is
Yeah,
running.
but
right?
it's not. It can't be
So
stealthing, right?
you cannot see the exact creature because again, it's very difficult to see. But that being said, you obviously immediately gave chase after it, not moving as quick as it, but you can see, leaves and brush and so on and so forth going thuck, 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 thuck. As you're running after it, you can see things shaking and trying to fall back into place. It's just like any other chase scene. You could see the things moving behind it. Even if you can't see the exact creature, you know exactly what path it went.
I mean, actually, if it tastes, it doesn't matter. It's gone, right? It's gonna have like 120 movement speed.
Yeah.
So, well, that's my turn. I mean, I can only move 50 and take a perception.
Like I said, you 100% saw the thing. You see like where it's going, so you can call and direct your friends if you would like, but that would be.
I mean, I do. I
mean,
tell them where it's going,
Varix can
but-
also enhance his speed, but he has to roll a 4 on a luck die to be able to take the win.
Nope.
So the creature continues to move.
If Cell can still see it though, even if it's far away, I still have a chance, right?
Cell can see the
No, it's
the
gone.
bush. Yeah, Cell can see the bush like kind of settling itself after its movements. So he sees like the in the bushes. You can absolutely try if you'd like, Jake. I'm not gonna say you can't. The most it could have potentially moved right now, mind you, that's assuming undergrowth doesn't affect it, because undergrowth affects your speed. It's rough terrain. Assuming undergrowth doesn't affect it, the most it could have moved right now is 240 feet. assuming its base speed was 30, and it had haste, and it moved double twice. That is 240 feet. That's best case scenario with 30 feet base speed.
And you can't run in the woods though, so it's not. I don't know how you could even catch it.
Yeah, like Cell says he has a speed of 50, but he didn't really run 50. He ran like 30 feet, you know, because he can't brush. So
Yeah.
I think Nick's Comatori can move through the brush, no problem. I think. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I could give myself freedom of movement on the
Okay.
commentary for a round, and we could do it.
And don't worry about that natty 1 equaling what you call it. I already took your first round away from you. I'm not going to penalize you with this one.
I mean, if there's literally nothing I can do, then there's nothing I can do. But what I can do is track it. It's bleeding.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
True.
So even if I had a way of boosting my speed, I don't know where it is. Even Cell doesn't know where it is.
You know the direction it went, 100%. So you could potentially move so quickly with a burst of speed, you can catch up to it. I just don't. I don't remember what your top speed is, but if I remember correctly, it's ridiculous, like 170 or
What
something.
about
like
with this?
that. If you take a charge or run action before the end of your turn, you can move a total distance of 10 times your base land speed. Yeah, that's really fucking fast. It's literally a huge burst of speed. So you probably wouldn't be able to take the charge attack. You actually definitely can't because you can't see your target to hone in on it, right? But you could definitely make the run action. Oh, I usually make the rule that you have to double move before you run. But like obviously Cheetah Sprint is meant to break that. It's meant to be like you just explode with speed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
okay. So you Cheetah Sprint and literally just spends your like the run action's a full round action, moving as absolutely quickly as you can. So you have to take a penalty to your
It says I can
perception
move up. Yeah, up to that
up
as
to.
well. So
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
did
You don't
see
have
it
to. You don't have
before-
to run past. You don't have to overrun it. You're gonna take a penalty to your perception check, only a -5, and the penalties from being distracted, right? Because obviously you're sprinting through the a bunch of forests or whatever. So a simple -5, and you're welcome to roll it.
I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
No.
So this isn't tracking. This is running as quickly as you can. So your character knows that it can only go so far, right? How far would you go? Your base speed is what?
40.
So 400 feet inside brush. That's 200 feet is the furthest you can go.
Yeah. Well, that's how far I go.
Okay, you sprint a solid 200 feet, and then you just kind of like stop, and like that was a rush. Like you were disoriented before, and then it's like you come back into your orientation because you literally speed yourself up so quickly that it feels like it's almost like a step down between going from the shadow plane to here. So it's like it allows you to ease into your current state a little bit, better. The hair of the dog that bit you, if you will. That's your turn. You don't see anything yet, Nick.
Seeing all that and then seeing Varric take off, I would kind of follow suit with an intermediate action to give Akuri my freedom of movement for the round. Her base speed is 80, so I'm pretty sure we can overtake
160. Yeah, you can definitely go 160 that way. So that now there's like a 40-foot gap between you and Varric, right? So, and the furthest this creature, again, best case scenario, so on and so forth, that you believe it could have gone was 240. So worst case scenario, it's 40 feet behind Varric. And Varric, in theory, might be able to cast that spell again, so he might be able to catch up to it. Or it could be behind you by, let's call it 40 feet, or in front of Cell by 40 feet, or between any group of you guys, right? Like that's like This is kind of a really good scenario to be in. Nick, end your turn with your character do a perception check. Oh, same idea, because you're moving so quickly. Go ahead and roll me with a -5.
Yep.
I thought he rolled a 13 as well for a second, but it was just the Neldorath's typing dropping away. Womp. Okay. So, I don't know why you always use green dice. You know how they treat you. I literally still have your shadow box with your green dice in them. So, it just cleaned out the area of the basement. So, I was in so much pain last Sunday. Like, I was so much discomfort, so much pain. And I took a medicine that made it even worse. And instead of going to my daughter's birthday party, my niece's birthday party, I reorganized the basement and hung a pegboard. And a pegboard isn't what you think it is, you filthy So the you make your way over there. You unfortunately don't see it either. Tesla, is your second turn. What do you say or do?
Getting on a tree wouldn't help at all, right? For seeing.
Well, unfortunately, there's just canopy everywhere, right? So getting higher up might give you a better view if it's dropping amongst the trunks. But as soon as they're in the bush or as soon as they're in the canopy, it's not going to help you.
Well, is there a potential branch that would give me a really good view, but it would be really hard to get to normally, to a normal person?
Yeah. So to be clear, if you were high up but just under the canopy, you 100% would have a good view of like the area between the trunks. But like if it's in the bush or in the canopy, which you don't know where it is, it wouldn't help you. But everywhere in between, absolutely it would.
Well,
I would say acrobatics to get up to it, or climb check actually to get up to it.
Acrobatics. I'm gonna jump.
Oh, I understand. Yep, you're gonna leapfrog.
Yeah.
Boing.
Well, I guess I'll do that because that's the best thing I can do. Because if this thing is running, I'm gonna be way too slow to catch up to it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop which is sucks. I'm bad at seeing things. I'm spending a panache point. I have high jump, so I don't. As a swift action, I get +20 to my jump check, and I don't have to have a running start. So I could be. I'm standing, and I just vertically leap.
Yes, I understand. You were jealous of Gladius, and so you put it on Tessel. I get it.
No, I just get this because of my subclass.
Mm-hmm.
My archetype. So I'm rolling a +41 acrobatics check.
Okay.
It's a fucking 3.
It's still an 11-foot jump, to be clear, plus your character's height, right? Or a height and a half, or whatever it is. So you can definitely leap up to like a good 18-foot branch, grab on, and like clamber yourself onto the branch. With an acrobatics check like that, you probably like fucking gymnastics swing and flip up and land on the branch, right? Like it looks badass, to be clear.
Yeah, well, I probably like thematically, I like run up part of the tree and then like horizontally jump, like diagonally jump onto the branch because jumping 11 feet's insane.
Yeah, you do like I feel like Jackie Chan did that in a Rush Hour. You know what I mean? Like the whole hit the building and from there.
Yeah.
Oh, those are bad movies I haven't seen in a long time. I should totally rewatch Rush Hour.
I guess, and then I get to make a perception check here.
Yes, sir.
Any bonus because of my vantage point?
Nope, but you just have different things that you can see.
Okay.
Not a bad roll. Did you want to luck that? I really gotta.
What do you think, guys?
Let's do it.
22.
Did you move up at all, or did you just jump? Like you ran
whatever
forward step before you jumped, right? I know you didn't have to because of high jump, but
whatever branch was the best branch that I could notice in the short time. So like I only need 11 feet to reach the branch, so I can move up to 20 feet to get to the better branch, right? So I'll probably move as far forward as I can, I think. So I'll move like 10 or 15 feet forwards and then find the branch and jump up to it and swing up onto it.
Okay. So you do exactly like you just said. You go up there, you look around, and you see everything seems very, very, very still. It seems very still. Now everybody's kind of like settled into their place or what have you. The
Once
branches
more
and
with
whatnot around
feeling.
you guys are starting to like settle back into the places where you all just kind of like jump through or from or so on. Uh, but you don't notice any other movement other than like, what's that? Fucking squirrel. Like things like that. Basic life inside here, but the area that you guys are staring and searching through, it seems very still. You do not yet find them.
Well, that's pretty expected.
It's the creature's turn.
Oh, it rolls a plus 19 stealth check.
Uh-huh. Okay. That's the creature's turn. Who's next? I think Varix.
Barracks goes before the creature, actually, doesn't he? Or no, he goes
Oh,
after.
he failed.
And try and
Sure you know what I'm
find
gonna
it.
do? Okay, cool. Just give myself a little edge.
Yeah. Well, try and find it.
Go ahead and
Listen,
roll
look, whatever.
perception check.
I'm gonna roll twice because I can.
Oh, you mean you have advantage?
Yeah. Fucking luck, man. Every time it's one.
And Scott keeps rolling 4s.
I know.
I think this creature may escape us.
Yeah.
Well, now we know that the spell is whoever touches you gets to go with you.
That's certainly not true. It's definitely not a whoever
Oh.
touches you.
Then, well, then I have no idea.
Certainly,
This
certainly
creature did
shadows
something
and
different.
shades and shadows and shades and whatnot would not be able to do that. Nick, I think you're next. Yep, Nick, you're next.
Maybe I fucking know.
Do you just want to roll a perception check? You get to roll normal. You don't have any penalties.
I don't hear anything. I'm just taking that with my 31.
Oh, 31. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, 31. You notice nothing.
But my 16, yeah,
And Tesla.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll take another just like overview from the top. From the top of the thing.
Okay, give us that natty 20, baby.
I'm channeling it right now. The energy. The not 20. It's coming right here.
You feel Neil entering you?
No. Nope.
No.
We keep rolling 9s and 6s. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Well-
those dots just want to present themselves.
If it's moving at half speed, it's probably gone.
Do you guys do anything else, or you just stand there and keep percepting?
at that point I would move back to the road.
It's kind of like, and head back.
Yeah, and Naren's gonna be pissed.
Varix doesn't move. He will not give up yet. Because if this thing didn't move at all, then there's still a chance.
What does
Yeah.
Tesla do?
I'm
as he
still in
sees
the tree.
Naren just like, so you see Naren kind of like walk under you, as you're up in the branch. And he like with the commissary makes his way back to the road, and Varric stays out there. Okay. Yeah, Bergs.
Oh, what do you want?
You were gonna say something.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said I stay out there. I wait. I listen.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
All right. Well, I guess I'll give it like a minute.
A minute goes by. Tesla, roll me a perception check.
I'm feeling it. All right, I feel it right now. The nat 20,
Neo.
guys. The
Give it to
destined,
me.
the glorious. It's
Give
coming.
it to me.
Oh my god, it was so close.
Oh, so good. Do you want to luck that, baby? Do you want to luck that? So I can laugh?
Oh, 30.
Oh my god. So Varix went too far. You actually are there. You hear nothing. You see nothing. Naren is on the road, just keeping an eye, making sure things are fine. And God forbid there's like a fucking caravan or one of his people passing by and, you know, so on. Or God forbid it crosses the road or runs up it. When all of a sudden you just kind of like, you yourself are feeling, you could hear Varix's like grumbling aggravation, you know, off to the distance where he is. And you are also like, yeah, this is useless. When something catches your eye, maybe it's just the way that the wind blew and allowed the light to shine in just the right way, but you see a little glisten catches your eye and you look over and you can see a nice crimson leaf drip onto the ground. You look down below and you see a couple of drops have fallen there. And you look back and you can see that that leaf, which had blood dripping off of it, blood doesn't drip off of a leaf for a minute. Not unless it has a source.
Yeah. So, because I'm brilliant, Varix gets a message from Ascending Stone. So it's perfectly silent. And I tell him the directions from where he is, where the creature is. And then I'm gonna jump I'm gonna like from the branch, I'm gonna fucking flying leap into this creature. But so Varix knows where he is. So the creature can't expect it. Because I don't even have to do any run up. So I'm like staring in different directions, I'm looking, all right? And then I instantly make a leap at the creature in the bush.
You're going to have to do that acrobatics boosty boost thing again. And
Yes,
just so you know, Varix, I had a 31 stealth, but I boosted it to a 35 with my 4 right there. But there was also a gap between you guys. So you know, Cell got it because enough time passed. I'm like, well, blood is blood is blood, right? So
yeah. So I do a surprise charge at this creature. Varix knows what the creature is, and I guess
you
need acrobatics?
Your thing and do your acrobatics with the plus 20 or whatever it is. Gotta pay.
46.
Do you want to luck that? You think 46 is high enough? It's only 11 and a half feet.
How far away is it? I can see
the branch that you're currently on.
Yeah. I think
so
I'm
I
fine.
imagine
It's more. It's not. I'm not making a high jump. I'm making a long jump.
Oh, leaping forward.
Which is,
that makes sense because you're already high up. Yeah. So that's
which is a lot.
1 for 1. Because it counts as a running jump, right?
Yeah, I haven't.
So that means you could jump pretty much your entire speed, which is 50 feet, I think.
No, it's only 30 feet.
Oh, so then you limited to the amount of movement you can make for your turn, but that's okay because if it's a charge attack, you can move.
That's 1.5 times or whatever.
Yeah. So you launch yourself. Let's say it's a charge attack. You kind of like drop down. You send the message, so on and so forth. Maybe fiddling with your pack to make sure you have that, and also to be a little beguiling. And then as you kind of like jerk and turn, twisting your body, you launch yourself forward, drawing your weapon as you go over at the area, and you make your attack.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's here.
It actually skinned a squirrel and put it there. Just
30.
So a 30 is absolutely going to be a hit. It's odd to hit because it has full concealment because it's in bush.
Unlucky.
16. Sadly, you miss. So you launch yourself through, and as you do so, you swear you know where it is. You launch up and you attack, and then you come tumbling down to the bush below. Obviously, you don't have to land all the way down. I'll allow you a reflex save.
Where was it in a tree? Where was it?
Up in the canopy area.
Oh, it was up in the canopy. Cool. Okay. One
So the
second.
16 reflex, you don't go all the you charm life it.
No, that's only on will save, I think.
Okay.
It's a
So,
swift action, and I already used it. Anyway.
You don't go all the way down by any stretch of the imagination, but you do drop down a little bit
wait.
before you catch yourself on some branches.
It's an immediate action, meaning I can't do it since I did a swift, right?
Correct. In this version of the game, correct.
Am I falling?
Yeah, but like again, it's not like you're taking damage. It's literally just a matter of stopping
Yeah.
yourself from going all the way down.
If I slow fall, will that help me here?
Slow fall just makes it so that you don't get hurt when you fall, but you're not going to get
Okay.
hurt anyways. You're just
Well,
catching yourself on some branches. I
I
factored
wasn't
slow
sure.
fall.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could slow fall so I could catch a higher branch quicker. So because of okay.
I was factored in for why you weren't getting hurt. So either way, you launch it where you believe the creature is. You saw blood dripping. You do your attack. You miss whatever it was, just barely, and then that's it. Barracks, I assume, acts as well.
Yeah, 100%.
How do you get back all the way over to him? You ran out 200 feet. He ran out like 30. So you're 170 feet from him. Oh, I suppose he launched himself 46 feet forward. So, you know, but still a good distance.
Yeah. Him.
Yes, how? Well, I could use that spell again, right?
In theory, yeah.
Well, I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. So I use that again. Move. I'm going to enter a rage. In which, actually, wait, maybe we'll have to. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, I'm a rage, I guess. How far up is this thing supposed to be?
Your mic
Yeah.
cut out.
You, I can't hear you.
No, can't hear you. Still. Not at all. Guys, you can shit talk Scott. And he can't respond. And chat can hear you. Nick, what do you have to say?
I think Scott was telling me that I got a fortune's favor that all my natty ones now count as a net.
Did you do that, Scott? I see. So you muted, so you.
Test. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. They got weird. They got so weird for I don't know what the heck that was. That got weird for a second.
That was weird. Man,
yeah, how'd that
I think
happen?
I'm being censored, guys. I think Scott's censoring me. What is this? I thought you were American. I thought you loved to read him speech.
Yeah, Americans also love censoring too.
Oh, true.
Like, let's
Not
be honest.
based. That's
Really not-
anti-based.
that is completely based. It's absolutely. We love censoring. You can say whatever you want except for all of these things and all of those things. And by the way, I'm offended. 100% we like censoring. Definitely. Yeah. Like they're just trying to they're trying to censor DeSantos. DeSantos isn't allowed to just tell people that if they get on this airplane, there's jobs and shelter waiting for them on the other side. That's censoring DeSantis' free speech. If he wants to spend Florida's tax dollars on a gag that ruins people's lives and most likely sends them to prison and then back to a country they're probably going to die, that's free speech, man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those tax dollars were federally sourced. I'll have you know.
I mean, it's Florida. They definitely don't generate their own income.
No,
I
they
mean-
don't.
I mean,
Rest in peace.
oh. I think we were about to watch Jake fail.
No, I said how far up is it?
Oh, that's where you couldn't hear me. It was like 20, 25 feet. Because remember, Cell's character originally jumped up 18 feet, and then he jumped across, and it was within reach to him. So he was standing on 18 feet up, and his character has his height of 5 and can reach up to 5 beyond that, and he jumped across and attacked. So.
Yeah, that's right. So how far can I reach up? Just say, what if I enlarged?
So if you're large size, you are 10 feet and you can attack one square above you unless your weapon is... No, hold on. If you're large size, your natural reach is 5 and 10 feet, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can attack 20 feet up naturally as a large size
Still
creature.
can't hit it then.
So if it's 25 feet, you won't be able to hit it. If it's 20 feet, you can. Do you have any means, like any spells, like long arm or any abilities?
Long
like
arm.
Oh,
lunge?
100%. Yeah.
You have long arm?
I but I need time to do it. of
Gotcha.
course.
Gotcha, of course.
Yeah.
When you blood rage, don't you insta cast a spell?
Yeah, but that'll only get me enlarged, right?
Yeah, but then
Well, he's thinking I'm going to pee.
you can then use your standard for long arms and then just move, and then your swift action would be for if you can standard for long arms. Swift action is for the run. You have to do a move to get here anyway, since I'm like 150 feet away from you.
Yeah.
If you have the spell slots, so it's not like you can make an attack anyway, and you'll provoke within the range. So if it tries to leave without withdrawing, you can try to hit it.
I won't have the spell slots for it.
Oh,
I only
it's
have
one first.
yeah, because it's the cheetah sprint is a
You only
the
have three first level
spells as well.
slots.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I think you would. I would think you would have four. But I don't know. I haven't
Yeah,
looked
let me
at the
double check.
level. You're level 11.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you only get 3. Shit. And large is a first level spell as well.
What's it called that you can check how many bonus spells you get a day? According to
What's your charisma?
14?
You get +1 first level, so you're at 3 first level slots. Yeah.
So what? Do I only have 2 as a?
Yeah. So you only have 3 total.
Damn. Yep. No, I can't do it.
You got no spells. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You don't have. What's your? Well. You have haste. You have fireball, right?
No.
I thought you took it.
Oh
What
my
did you?
god. Oh my god. You know what I do have?
What?
I'll message you.
Are you guys gonna burn down my forest again?
Yeah. Well, it's worth it this time. It might be +1 second as well. I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's only +1 first. Yeah, if you blood rage that one, or blood rage and large cast that one.
I have to cast that one. I can't.
You can't
Blood
blood
rage
rage that spell.
No.
Is it only first level
I
spells?
won't be able to do anything on this turn anyway, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the spell to go for,
Yeah.
since it increases your movement speed too.
Does it?
Yeah, make sure speed 60.
Right. So at the moment, should I just use the cheetah sprint to get to where you are?
You only have one first level slot left.
Yeah. No, I have 2 right now.
Okay.
Um,
No, I think what you should do is enlarge.
Rage is a free action, and casting a spell when you enrage, is that also a free action or is that a swift action?
oh no, that's part of my class feature. It just applies when I rage.
Enrage is a
if
free
I
action,
wanted to.
right?
Yes.
Okay, so you could rage and cheetah sprint, and the reason why cheetah sprint matters is because you can jump as part of the charge attack, and the jump would give you the verticality to
true.
have the 25 feet. You would just have to make a jump check. DC 4 times 5 is 20. Because you have to get your feet off the ground 5 feet in the air. Now, while that might sound difficult, your speed. Oh wait, you can't charge through the bush, can you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you can charge through rough terrain.
Yeah, I got the. I think can charge through rough terrain. I think it just slows you too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, double check that one.
I don't usually charge. Not a typical action of my characters.
What's a large-sized creature with a good climb speed?
Charging is a special full round action that allows you to
What's
move
a
up to
large
twice your
creature with a
speed.
good a silverback?
That gorilla, yeah.
Something that can be mounted.
I mean, you could try to,
Don't
Harambe for life.
proposition me again, Scott.
Ew.
There's
Don't
nothing
call me a
about.
bear. I'm a gorilla, baby. Oh.
There's no restriction on. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Movement during your charge. Must move, whatever. Oh, yeah. If there's difficult terrain, you cannot. Nothing can hinder your movement, such as difficult terrain or obstacles. Is it difficult terrain for a large-sized creature?
Difficult terrain, yes, because think about it. You're still running between trees. You're still running through bush, which can get your feet caught up in. You know, so on and so forth. It's not like it's a straight path because you have all the trees and everything in the way. There's a forest, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking. Okay.
And I'm just answering. Okay.
Yeah, no, I accept your answer completely.
Jake's like, listen, I'm not going to charge attack. I'm just going to run and jump as high as I can in the general direction. And if they happen to fall from the trees, that's not my problem.
So you can't charge it, so you can't use cheetah sprint.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
You're muted, Jake.
Oh, thank goodness.
I can use it to get there because I can run.
Yes, this is true. But
Okay, I mean, I'll get back over there. I mean, that's all I can do for now. We'll see what it does. I mean, it's climbed a tree.
you might, I don't know, you might want to keep it because, yeah, fine. Yeah. I mean, I think if it runs off at this point, we can't catch it, right? We're done. I think this is our last attempt on getting this creature.
Yeah, so I move over there. I mean,
Scott?
yeah. That's
Well,
it.
Jake,
actually,
Jake-
it's not run time.
Jake, do me a favor. I want you to roll me a low DC reflex save, and if you beat it, I want you to roll me a survival check. It's weird, but I'll explain the narration in a second. Yeah, you definitely beat that. One of the things you do as you're over there is you kind of you sprint over to the spot and then you stop there and you get there just as another drop of blood falls. And it's almost like an intimidation factor. You're able to catch that drop in your mouth. Just like, I'm coming to get you, baby. But then you realize it actually does taste like squirrel.
Really?
It might be munching.
Okay.
Nick, it's your turn.
You don't know.
You see that these guys are jumping about and growing large and sprinting and all that fun stuff. You see them doing all these crazy things. What do you do as you see them leaping and tromping about in the forest?
Well, it really just depends on what kind of action the wild mount shape special ability is.
I don't know what a wild mount shape
Once
special
more
ability.
with feeling.
It is
Excuse me,
part
is-
of the Order of the Beast path, and it lets my mount shape change once per day,
Once more with feeling.
as if under the effects of Beast Shape 2.
Oh, B shape is a spell. Oh, what level what level B shape?
It would be Beast Shape 2.
Once more
Oh,
with
that
feeling.
definitely would give it a climb speed. It doesn't actually have to turn into an animal, I don't think. I think it just can morph it to get it to. It doesn't actually have to take the shape of an animal, I don't think. I think you can just alter it to have the
Once
speed.
more with
Right, like its
feeling.
claws grow slightly differently. It gets a different bend in the knee that allows it to hold it. So on and so forth. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So Pathfinder Beast shape,
more with
or
I
it can
think
take
you-
the shape of an actual animal. So when you
I
cast
think-
a spell, you assume the form of a smaller medium creature of the animal type in that form. Oh, okay, so never mind. This does, but it gives you that. B shape 2 functions as B shape 1 except it allows you a tiny or large animal. Okay. So you just need, like you said, a large animal. I was mistaken. I just thought I remembered it giving the other thing. So
That would be
Pathfinder
better, but
large
Once more with
animal
feeling.
with climb speed.
Right
I feel
now,
like
a
it could be
large-
like a lion or something.
a large chameleon is the best I've found so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say giant gecko, chameleons.
Once more
Do polar
with
bears have
feeling.
like climb speeds?
Yeah, but polar bears might be outside of the purview of. Oh no, because you don't get its stats. You just get the ability, right? You don't get like
Correct.
all
Or
these
just
health
like-
points or
Or
whatever.
Or like a normal bear, right? They
Yeah, you
don't
can
look
turn
like
into
they
like a
have-
brown bear.
They don't have climb speeds. It looks like that's weird.
Wait, brown bears and black bears don't have climb speeds?
No,
Maybe
they
they're just
have-
strong enough that
Once
their
more with
climb
feeling.
check is good.
They don't even have a climb skill.
Huh, that's funny.
This is
Really?
Pathfinder being wrong.
Brown bears don't have climb skill?
None of the bears have
Once
any
more
climb
with
skills
feeling.
or climb speeds.
That's a music.
Some great climbers in the animal world. They don't need climb speeds. That's weird. Did
Yeah,
you
it
say?
was either that or something with a fly speed. But
I don't think you're gonna find a. Can you find a large flying creature?
Flying would be bad.
Yeah, 'cause you're in a
Large
canopy.
creature. Yeah. It's in the canopy. You have all these trees about, and you have to try to flap your wings between them.
What about a large goat?
No, but like his chameleon idea works fine.
yeah, I think the chameleon's gonna be the way to go.
Or so
Yeah.
large lizard in general, right? So cool. But that's just thematic, to be clear. Like all you're realistically doing is making a large sized creature that thematically has that. If you take the form of it gains the listed abilities, which is a climb speed of 60 feet. And any other like pounce or trip or scent or whatever.
Yeah.
So that absolutely works. But also it gets a +4 to its strength. If the form you take is a larger animal, you get a +4 size bonus to strength, which is hilarious because it already has a size bonus to strength, I believe. So that wouldn't
Correct.
apply. And a -2 to dex, but that also wouldn't apply. However, it does get the +4 natural armor bonus. Nothing says that it wouldn't. So right? There's nothing here that says that this would not stack or suggests that it would not stack.
If you already have natural armor,
It doesn't say a natural armor of +4. It says a +4 to natural armor, right? So this would enhance what you already have.
nice.
Yeah. No, most large creatures like that, Xylemos, are large long, as opposed to large tall. So most of them don't have reach. I believe an Axebeak technically does have reach, but most do not. They what's considered large long, like a horse can't hit something 10 feet away. It only hit something adjacent to it. All right, cool. Nick, you do that as a what action?
That it doesn't specify, so I'm assuming it's a standard.
What does it say? Like, how do you have this ability?
It's a part of a class feature. It's the 8th level feature. The exact text is at 8th level. In Order of the Beast Cavalier gains the ability to turn his mount to a different medium or large sized animal and back again once per day. His options for the new forms include all creatures with the animal type. The ability functions as species 2, except for as noted here, the effects last 1 hour per Cavalier level, or until the Cavalier changes the mount back. Changing the mount from different animal to back requires the Cavalier to touch his mount, and it is a standard action. Okay.
Cool. So you see them pouncing about, so on and so forth. So I imagine you just like, good Nabu, whatever the hell its name is now. And you give it a pet, and all of a sudden it's like, and like its arms change. It gets all scaly and so on and so forth. It looks fucking freaky as hell. And then you just kind of like give it the spur or whatever, and it starts moving forward with whatever its current speed is, climbing up into the trees. Now I'm imagining it being, do you remember Rescuers Down Under? I'm sure Jake does. The creature that would eat the eagle eggs. You know what I'm talking about? What was that creature's name? Oh yeah, I imagine that thing fucking climbing about. So funny. Jake, you've seen Rescuers Down Under, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah. So you remember it though?
No.
You don't remember that?
No, I've seen it, but I don't remember it. No.
Bro, it's totally worth a rewatch. Like, watch it with your kids. It's so funny.
Mm.
Like, hey, look, American media that cares about us. Let's see, what do they have to say about us in this? We're poachers. Okay. Okay, well.
They're just honoring Australian roots. You're all criminals. Filthy, dirty criminals.
Mm.
The mouse is a kangaroo. The fucking mouse is a kangaroo, and we're poachers. That's the moral of the story. Okay, that's all right. Thanks. Moving on. So yeah, Nick starts climbing up into the trees to go after it. What do you guys do?
Do I see it?
Oh, from climbing up into the trees, make me a perception check.
What the
Oh.
heck? Jesus fucking
Oh
Christ.
my god. Sir, that could have been a great moment. It was not. No, you do not. You do not see anything. Anything of note. Back to Jake.
Is it my turn again? Is it? I thought it was
No, it's mine.
Sol's before mine. Yeah.
Yeah, how high up
Jump,
is
jump back up there.
How high is the branch up from where I'm at?
So you're already halfway up. So you're probably, let's say, 15 feet, and to get up to the next spot, it's gonna be 10 feet up. To get back up to where it was, which is above where you were. For you to be in the canopy, 10 feet up.
What number check am I gonna have to make for that?
You're talking
What's my
about
DC?
acrobatics for jumping?
Yeah.
10-foot jump is 40.
But with my reach to half height.
Correct. So, what's your character's height?
My character's height is 5'7".
So 5'7" would count as 8 feet. So, realistically, it's not that high of a jump. It's a DC called 10, and then you have to clamber your way up there. Obviously, higher up makes it easier for you to climb up.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm running low on panache points, since I haven't had combat to rejuvenate them. Um. What would be the climb check TC?
Not that high. I mean, probably a 15.
All right, I'm better off taking the acrobatics. Then.
Okay.
So
Not
I'm just
panaching?
gonna not panaching. I still have a plus 21 to this check.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, your normal roll.
So 33.
Okay, so that launches you up there like another 7 feet or so, right? So that's most of the distance to the height that you needed to, anyways. So you jump up. You actually don't grab the branch you want. You grab a branch like 1 or 2 above it, and then kind of like you swing yourself onto the spot that you want to be. That'd be your move, is to get there. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean I'm in the bush where the thing was. So I
Perception.
assume. Yeah, well, it's probably not here.
That's a shitty roll. So unfortunately, all I can tell you is this. Yeah, there's a dead animal that is literally like the animal was taken. It looks like it was very swiftly killed. Like its neck must have been broken because it looks twisted horribly, and it's literally skewered onto a branch so that it's dead and literally dripping blood down below. I mean,
Well-
for somebody to catch a squirrel though, that tells you in and of itself, whatever this is, moves quickly.
So yeah, it's hasted. So yeah,
Well, I described it as hasty.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's hasted as in it's fast.
If it was in the canopy, could you see it if you were over the top of the canopy?
If
So
you were
looking
in
over
the
top?
canopy itself, you might be able to see it. But again, like a canopy is made out
But if
of
you were
a bunch of-
over, like
No.
above it, to be able to see like
you'd be able to
branches
see
moving
it
and
if it was
stuff.
above. Oh, potentially, sure, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Certainly better than below it, where the branches get thicker. Above it,
I mean,
they just get
maybe,
thinner and thinner
right?
and thinner.
But like, I'm just thinking of like an image of like the Amazon forest canopy.
Can't any of you cast like fairy fire or anything like that?
No,
Wait, hold on. Now you're suggesting Cell uses fire in the forest?
it's not a fairy
Well,
fire.
I mean, if he's gonna do it, might as well be useful.
Yeah, well, sadly, we need to know where the creature is to even fairy fire it. Well, it's not here.
So that blood that fell, was that from where I stopped, or was it before that? Was where I
The-
stopped, like
yeah.
where Cell is. But it is
Yeah.
from here.
Yep.
All right. All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
No,
All
it's
right. Very
creature's turn.
Fucking
Yeah.
is creature's turn. So whatever you're doing with it, Scott.
You don't notice
Um,
anything.
Yeah, sure. All right. I get really angry and fucking just do this, and I fly above the fucking canopy.
Oh, he literally cast fly, and he's like, "Are
Yep.
you large size now?"
No.
Oh, I thought you were large size. I imagine this like fucking 10-foot dude just like bursting through the trees. Okay, but so Varric's come bursting through the trees and looking about. Now
You
he's
guys have never
Superman
seen it before. I
flying.
don't think anybody does, but yeah, you see Varric's just like he's like looking around everywhere, and he's just like saying expletives before you see him like turn his hands together. He rubs them and says something, and then he just seems to ascend into the air.
Oh, okay. So you're not doing the whole like end of Matrix Neo launch. You're doing like a just
Oh,
float.
the thing.
Yeah, like,
So
like
that'd be cool.
Vegeta's
That'd be
angry.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
let's do that.
Anyway, so yeah, you launch yourself up, so it's like bursting through the canopy, which your speed is 60. So go ahead and roll me a perception check, sir.
20. I feel it. I feel it, Jake.
You've got to give me something.
I'm
something
feeling it,
for being
Jake.
Above, man.
Feel the nat 20. That was not the nat 20, Jake.
Do you want to
Lucky.
luck that, Jake?
Yeah, I do. Oh,
This thing, it's fine. This thing can't think we're still like able to even find it. Right? It's gotten cocky.
Jake,
It
you
must
can
have-
see it because you literally see wasps of what's the word I'm looking for here? Of shadow pouring off of it as it's at the top of the canopy, literally above anywhere where any of you guys are looking before. You've seen Crouchers Like Hidden Dragons deftly moving from the ends of branches to the ends of branches. This creature is incredibly nimble, whatever it is. And maybe it's weightless or knows how to distribute its weight well, whatever it is. And it's literally like lands on a branch that's way too small to support a creature of its size. Could probably support like a squirrel or something. And then kind of like it launches itself a pretty decent sized jump, moving even further away. But as it moves and the sun's beaten down in the thing, you can see it like it lands again and again. Wasps of shadow are falling off of it as once again it grabs whatever cloak or something it has to pull it around itself, seemingly trying to shield itself from the beating rays of sun. But I mean, it's been a while that you were waiting down there for a whole minute and whatnot. Like it's been a while. It's pretty far from you. It's pretty far. Like you can go after it, sure, but they're not going to be able to follow you. Because a whole minute of moving like this, it's not moving particularly fast, or 15 rounds or whatever. It's pretty far. You just see it with your 27. With the,
How many feet away?
800?
I can't catch it.
Oh, it doesn't move at its crazy speed. It's at a slower speed. I don't know how long your fly lasts for, though.
Level 1 spell left take.
I do.
That's 600.
No, I can't. It doesn't work with fly.
No, but fly, he can double move and move 60 feet around. And you can technically run with fly, so you can move.
Fly is already 60 feet.
Oh, sorry. So you can move 120 feet around. And you can, after a first round double move, you can sprint or run or whatever it is with fly to move 4 times that. That's an option. So in theory, you could catch up to it. But if it chose to drop back below the tree line, then now you're back where you were before, but without your friends. But one thing you know for certain, if you weren't positive before, you know for a fact this thing's fucking sapient.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go after it, but I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna kind of ascend a bit, so I'm not directly like in the line of sight. It's trying to shield itself from the sun, so I don't want to block out the sun. Like from I don't want to get so my shadow goes over it, right?
But you also want to make sure the sun is behind you, so it's not looking back at you because the sun fucking hurts. I get what you're saying.
All right. I'm just gonna try.
No checks even need to be made. You absolutely can fly up there. You can absolutely move over there. You can absolutely have the sun over your left shoulder, so you're not casting a shadow in any way that you're too concerned about. And you absolutely can close the distance because, like I said, it's doing this weird leapfrog jumping thing, trying to get as far away as it can from you guys before it drops below the canopy. I imagine you try to go over quickly.
100%.
So 120, 240, 2 rounds is 360, 364, 600. So we're talking like after like 5 or 6 rounds or so, you can see the thing finally will stop and it turns and literally looks back and sees that nothing's down there because you're way over its head. So again, no check even need to be made. It turns and it looks back. It's not going to look up at the sky. That would just be stupid. It turns, it looks back, and then it starts clambering down into the trees themselves. But over that time, you were absolutely able to close the distance to the point where you're able to like stop kind of above it and start descending down. So I'm saying that you are 100% there. How you choose to approach is up to you. If you choose to say something or attack or what have you, that's up to you.
I don't say anything. I just approach to attack. Like
So
I
you
just
wanna,
want
like,
to. I want to
charge
attack
attack?
it.
Your speed is
Yeah.
60. You have double speed when you're dropping down, so you can actually drop 240 feet and still charge if you're descending. So things you can see the thing that looks back, sees nothing's around, and then it starts clambering, like lowering itself into the canopy. You're just gonna charge stack it.
Yeah. And I'm in a blood rage.
Okay. Ah! It's like ah!
Yeah, and I give myself a long arm because it's my last spell slot. Just so you know, because it's natural reach. I can still attack 5 feet.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
All right, all good. Give me a second.
Just means that you probably did long arm as you like got in range.
Yeah.
I feel it. Jake, the nat 20
I
on
feel too natty 1. It's coming
nat
now.
20, nat 20, nat 20, 3 in a
91.
row. You just cut its head
91.
off.
Just
Right.
Natty won it. Get
I
it
feel
done.
it, Jake. We deserve them. They'll always.
We got everything on.
This whole derailment for a few curses.
Yep. I think everything is good now.
It wasn't at 20 though.
But does that 21 hit though? You know
Probably.
a 27 and a 30 does. You don't know if a 21 does, and you know this creature's very quick.
Luck it, Jake.
Yeah, that is right.
Luck
It
the
is
crit
good. We don't
confirmed.
have any luck left.
We might.
However,
Oh, you
I
have your.
can.
You could just give it a +5, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
How does he just give it a +5?
I'm looking at the thing exactly.
It's his
Where is it?
bloodline power.
Yeah, Destined Strike. As a free
Before you
action,
roll
up to 3 times per day, you can grant yourself an insight bonus equal to half your Blood Rage level.
When? After you roll, before you know the results.
It doesn't say. Literally
Usually the
says,
rule
at
is
first
after
level,
you roll
as a,
before
it
you know the
says
results.
as a free action. I guess I've actually used the free action to Blood Rage, right?
No,
we
you
have
have infinite free
infinite
actions.
Okay.
Okay,
just says-
for,
As a free action, up to 3 times per day, you can grant yourself an insight bonus. So something
So,
it
so,
doesn't say.
so-
Doesn't
some things
specify.
are supposed to be before you roll and some are after. Did you copy and paste all the text over?
I'm looking at it right now.
I think so.
Like Nick, how does it sound to you?
Yeah.
No, it just says
right here.
as a free action, 3 times per day, you can grant yourself an insight bonus equal to half your blood rage level on 1 melee attack. It doesn't say when.
Before or after you roll, obviously before you know the results.
I mean,
I'm biased as I do not want this Shadow Fae thing running around in my backyard. So yeah.
Okay. It sounds like the vote is before we know the results, but after the roll. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You have a 26. Are you comfortable with the 26?
Well,
Because
it's,
we know a 27 hits and we know a 30 hits, but we don't know about a 26.
do you have your charge bonus to hit in this, Jake?
No, I
So-
do not.
So that's a +2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 28. You
So
know for a
that
fact
certainly
that hits.
hits.
All right, Jake, are you ready for your 50% mischance?
Is it in foliage now?
Do
Come on,
I
Jake.
still have a 50% mischance?
Absolutely. No, you don't, actually. It has a 50%
Yeah.
mischance when it has any form of cover or concealment from any
But
darkness or whatever. But no, it's in
Okay,
full.
so
It's
you
in
get a
full
hit.
sunlight.
I
Yeah,
actually get a hit off.
you actually get a critical hit.
It's,
Yes.
It's a crit.
All right,
Roll
let's go.
high, Jake. High.
Light it up.
That's not high, Jake.
It's 50.
55 is a chance of death from massive damage.
We're doing those rules?
Yeah, that's core rules. That's raw.
I've just
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, 50 points damage for a medium-sized creature. That's raw. Death from massive damage, baby. Fortitude save and throw DC 15, I think it is. To not die. Cool. I'm just gonna roll it for fun.
What's your fortitude?
This is a quick creature, not a tough creature, so not very high.
It's dead.
Wait for the daddy's dice.
Oh, I'm not gonna waste a daddy's eye on a creature that's just gonna die around later, anyways.
True.
I'm not foolish.
right.
I don't get as many as you guys do. They don't love me as much as they love you. So, absolutely, you describe it. As you
Just
Superman
as it starts
descend
to
on the creature.
Yeah, descend. Varric seems to just fall almost from the sky. Overhand strike straight into its shoulder, which cuts into it, and kind of as Varric's arms are extending, before it slides off the blade, obviously he can grab it. So he still has the thing impaled on his blade.
Yep, he's got like monkey arms right now. So you
Yeah.
grab the thing. And you hold it up, and you can see it. This creature, like I said, it has this like beautiful dark skin, but that dark skin is actually like literally cracking and showing like it's in pain from being underneath the pale sunlight, right? Like you can see that the
Yeah.
skin is reacting to being under the pale sunlight, probably the first time ever in its existence. It's so hot and dry compared to what it's always been around. But not only is the creature lifeless and limp before you, as I said before, if there was any iris or pupil before, there definitely isn't now. But it's lifeless and limp before you. But as you're holding it, you can also see that it's discorporeating into oh wait. Yeah, sorry, it's breaking down into shadow as you're holding it.
Hmm.
Outer plane creatures and inner plane creatures, when they die, they break down.
All right. Well,
Yeah, they're not native.
just
I mean, it doesn't mean it continues to live on its own plane of existence. It's not an outer plane creature.
Yeah,
just
it's just not
fly
native.
back.
As a note, I would have climbed to the top of the tree, so I could like help Varix
Nick
get
would
back
too,
to
of
us.
course. Yep.
Yeah.
And you guys would see that, of course. I don't know
Yeah,
if
so-
you would see kind of like that. You would see him drop from the sky.
And then come
But-
back up with it. Yeah.
So, anyways, so Jake, it's discorporeating in your hands, kind of wisping away into shadows. And as you pull it above the tree line, it's inside the pale sunlight. It happens far more rapidly.
Seeing that it is just more or less discorporeating. I fly higher into the sky, kind of just stick my hand out where I'm holding it and just watch it disappear, I guess.
You watch it literally break down into shadow,
Based.
into like wispy, kind of like dark material, which is
What happened to
the
its
shadow instantly burns up.
its spear? Does that go too?
It dropped it where you killed it, so it probably is either stuck in the trees or clambered down to the canopy below, to the floor below. You can go over there and you can try to search for it, or you can call your allies to come over and assist you in the search for it.
Fuck it. I just go back.
Okay, I was gonna say trying to find a stick instead of a needle in a haystack,
Yeah.
right?
That'd be pretty rough.
So you just, as you watch this, and you just kind of like the creature eventually completely falls apart, and its clothes just kind of like fall and whisper around in the wind or whatever as it drops down. And yep, you're able to make your way back to the group.
When I get back, I probably see Tessel above the
Yeah.
tree line, and just point towards where the road is, and I'll return to the road because it's not that far. And then when I see them both, I just say, "I killed it." After it died, it just vanished slowly.
Does that make sense to me, Scott?
Yeah, you guys have fought inner and outer planes creatures before. You know that like the fire creature, dissipated, and the earth creature dissipated. And
Yeah, I guess that's still
so it
weird
makes
though,
sense.
right? For
Sure.
because we've never seen a corporeal creature vanish. It was a physical creature. Like we fought the fire element. That went into my soul. So that's different, right? We fought an earth elemental?
Didn't you?
No, I don't think so.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm confused with a different campaign.
Either way, I'm gonna be like, thank you, Varix. We have prevented another spillage of extraplanar beings into my land. Both,
Yes.
which would have been Tesla's actions.
I told you the risks, Naren. You cannot put all the fault on me.
I've expended
Fire
a lot of-
elemental, shadow fae.
First of all, the fire elemental harassed and killed my people, and tried to kill me.
How far is the
Alright.
fort?
When,
Alright.
when we exit Eldamar, I will show you the barren patch of ash. That's
A few miles.
And I didn't even set
Because-
that fire.
At 50 miles an hour, you guys were about 9 minutes away from the fort when you stopped. You can do that math real quick. So 50 divided by 60 times 9. That's how many miles away you are.
Alright, well, we should get to the fort. I need some rest before we proceed.
You need some rest. That's so funny. The whole point of doing this was so that you guys could proceed immediately.
Oh,
Well, no, it got rid of like 2 days, right? Or 3 days, or however long it was going to be to get here.
A week. I guess
To
you're
get
a
here.
week. Yeah.
Oh shit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
A day's fine.
Yeah, you guys literally been traveling for 3 hours or whatever it is. Even with all that, everything that just happened, it literally was about 3 hours, including all the chatting and so on and so forth. Otherwise, it would have been a week. So, I said we were just talking about like people taking boats from England to, Plymouth Rock with Aurora. And we're like, yeah. It used to take just over 2 months to do. 65 days, 70 days, whatever it was to do that. Now it's 7 hours on an airplane. She's like, wait, what's 65 days? I'm like, Thanksgiving's in less than 65 days. She's like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, if you got on a boat, Thanksgiving will be over before you got there. Or, you can just put on like 2 movies and you'll be there. It's crazy. Or 3 movies, really. Crazy. Anyways, moving on. So, yeah, the rest of the trek is, I don't know if there's anything else your characters would talk about, but Cell as your character is being a little bit introverted, thinking about what just transpired. Go ahead and roll me a knowledge nature.
Planes. I will. I'm getting it right. I feel it. The nat 20, guys. It's coming right now. Finally, we deserve it. It's not the nat 20.
Oh my god, that one was right there. Oh, just mocking you. Either way, so yeah, that there are creatures that live in other planes, but like have some semblance of their origin, even if it's their ancient history coming from this plane. Those creatures, if they die, they stay in this plane. But creatures whose origin aren't from here, creatures whose origins from a different plane, when they die, they break down. They return from where they came from. Their essence does, whatever their essence is. So you are aware of that. It takes you probably like, a good hour or so of thinking about it during that last bit of walk, to fully come to this conclusion. But yeah, you do know that for a fact. It breaking down means that it was a creature that was truly an invader, not a creature that belongs here.
Yeah.
So whether or not it was malevolent, benevolent, whatever it is, you don't know. It never attacked you. It just reached out and touched you and used you as a ride. So either way,
Hey, you gotta pay for that.
He's muted. With your life.
It's illegal.
Oh, you want to
Yeah,
cross you want to walk across a dozen countries just to have a chance to live in this world? But guess what? You got an airplane and go to Martha's Vineyard, bitch. Like that's more or less what you just DeSantos that poor creature. You're like, nope, back to from where you came from. That's what you just did. Good job, Sal. Hope you feel proud.
I do.
It wasn't Sal. It was actually Jake.
It's fair.
It wasn't you. It was actually Jake that did it. And considering what the Australians really do,
True.
yeah. Not
Double
Jake. I know
crap.
he doesn't support that, but move away from that conversation because it gets dark.
All right, so you get to the fort, right?
The creature didn't stab Sal.
It didn't.
It didn't stab Sal. It touched Sal.
It was really probably not meant to be in this world, and who knows what damage it could have caused.
Yep. Anyways, so you get to the fort. You absolutely get there. And when you get there, of course, Tonscree and the other one, I forget whoever you have stationed here to oversee this construction or whatever, they're able to give you a full report, so on and so forth. They inform you that they were surprised in your arrival because you obviously didn't know you were traveling this fast. Like, oh, Warlord, I knew you intended to come through. I didn't expect to see you in, at least a week, if not 2. What's that? Surprise.
Well, I'm as surprised as you. Our means of transportation were not the usual. How goes construction in the city? The village?
It's going well enough at least. Where it's a constant battle, as you can imagine. The denizens of the forest are not satisfied with us being here, but they will be soon enough. As any other clans, any other tribes have come across Kushibashi, they have either learned the benefits of joining our clan, or they are learned the benefits of relocating.
Well said. Well said. How was your venture into pursuing druidic knowledge with uh, Jesus Christ? What's her name? Isolde.
Perhaps Isolde is better to answer that question than you. Her power has only grown since she's even returned. She is capable. She moves through the trees even more deftly than any Hafue I've ever encountered. It's as though they move out of the way as she places her foot down. She can communicate with animals. He leans in and he says, she can become beasts.
This is good. This will surely be a boon for our clan. We're going to need someone to take us to the forest, or at least to guide us to the rooms you've highlighted.
Warlord, it would be an honor if you would ask me to join you in this guidance. I have seen it once before, and I certainly could help you find the way again, and to warn you of the dangers along the way, as well as many other ways that we have to catch up on. It's been a while. With that being said, my suggestion is that you take Isolde.
That is what you suggest.
Isolde's presence here is valuable, and putting her life in danger when she has so much to offer is something I would caution against. However, only the two of us will be able to guide you there as easily, and she is more adept at doing so than I am, as of now.
Okay. That's your judgment. I will take it. So they will lead us.
He nods and says, I would suggest that you head out immediately, as you and Warlord Shado look fairly raring to go. However, Warlord Densho doesn't seem to be doing so well.
We traveled hard and fast to get here. We'll need to rest in town.
We don't have...
We're all self-made warlords. We will make do with the accommodations here.
He says, he says this is certainly not befitting of a warlord, but we will make do with what we have. At the very least, we have a solid structure to make sure that sleep will come easily for you. And he gestures towards the fort that's been, XYZ. Of course, you know. Oh, apparently Joey put slapped on some archetypes I didn't know about. What the hell does a face speaker offer? Why did he go face? What min-maxing is why he took face speaker? Let's see. Where is Isolde? Oh, there she is. What is this offer? What the hell is this? Say level reincarnated druids add half their level to sense motive diplomacy. Why was she reincarnated? Did she die? That I don't know about? When did
Isn't that
Isolde
part
die
of
that I
the-
didn't know about?
Isn't reincarnation a part of the Hawaiian religion?
Yeah. No, the reincarnation is, but like reincarnation usually as another creature, sometimes as yourself, but she didn't die. Oh, I forgot to remove that, so that's not even supposed to be there. Okay. So, Druidic Herbalism Nature Bond variant. That's a long phrase. Druidic Nature Bond, as we're taken, first accept the archetypes classification. Instead of granting access to a domain, or an animal companion, a druid's bond with nature take a third form, access to druidic herbalism. Weird as fuck. So she doesn't have an animal companion or domain spells. She has I don't know, fucking cilantro. A druid chooses to learn druidic herbalism can combination of nuts, berries, dried herbs, and other like potions. So more or less she can brew potion.
Interesting.
Wait, hold up. Does this more or less make her an alchemist? Holy shit, she's just an alchemist. Look at this. This is 7th level, they can create an additional herbal concoction in 1 minute. Yeah, look at this. At 4th level, and they can create additional concoctions, needs to only pay half the cost to create them. Da da da. This is funny. Look at this. Free herbal concoctions a day equal to their wisdom of fire. Additional concoctions cost the same as da da da. Druids can sell their like they can make so many potions in a day. Like they could stock, as long as you have the money to give to her, she could stockpile you with Cure Light Wounds potions. Like, look at this. She can do, what's her wisdom modifier? 2. So she can create a number of free herbalist concoctions per day equals her wisdom modifier. Additional concoctions cost the same as creating a potion equivalent to brew potion. She can sell her herbalist concoctions just as though they were potions. Yeah, she literally can make 2 free potions a day. As per brew potion.
Well,
Well, that sounds broken. Now I have to know where this came from. Now I have to do research. God damn it. Now I have to fucking research this shit because I don't even, like, what the fuck, free potions? That sounds wrong.
I don't
What's
know.
Fey Magic? So charisma score instead of wisdom score. Fine.
Probably something to concern ourselves with a little later. Since it's gonna take a while.
Well, we're about to end anyways, so I'm gonna
The druid's bad. She become half bad.
what?
Yeah, the Fae speaker makes the druid's bab go down to wizard bab.
I mean, who cares if you're not using Bab?
No, it's
I mean,
true.
druids aren't usually combat characters anyways. They can be actually. But
I mean, they're 3/4
then-
bab. I mean, pretty decent.
Yeah, but then you turn into a creature with like 25 strength and you don't care anyways, right?
More bab is more bab.
But there's spells to supplement your Bab to equal your caster level anyways. So Fey Magic, add illusion, face speech gives them that bullshit. Wild Mischief gives face speaker can fool an animal into thinking it's food. Okay, whatever. What is how does it have the other ability? So there's nothing wrong with face speaker. And face speaker also, it says it alters wild shape, loses the summon nature's ally ability, which is insanely powerful. That's actually one of the most powerful abilities in the game. They gain wild shape at 6th level and all of its benefits. Cool. So how does it have the other thing? Where does this herbalistic training bullshit come from? A wilderness medic. Nope, definitely not normal druid. I'm a normal druid. I started Googling wilderness and that's not there. So
What's the ability called?
wilderness medic. Wilderness medic. It's from the archetype called wilderness medic, which is a ranger archetype. This gives you herbalism for a bonus. So it's just because has leftover ranger levels.
Well, what level ranger is she?
Hold on, wait. No, wilderness medic isn't the same thing. That doesn't give her.
No, it gives her the herbal medicine.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. No, it's the druidic herbal nature variant bond bullshit weird thingy. That thing. Where the hell did this come from? Okay, what book even did this come from? What's the source of this? This is from the Healer's Handbook, which came out in 2017. So this is a very late produced book. So it was when they were trying to compete with all the other broken shit in the system. Because earlier than 2017, we got Brawler and shit like that. So this is a very broken book. Because Brawler was years old in 2017. 2017, I was already streaming, you know. Yeah, Joey, I see where it is. And I see where it came from. I see all that stuff. I'm reading it right now. Druid who learns this can blah, blah, blah. And more or less, they can make potions for free. Literally, a number of potions per day can create a number of free herbal concoctions per day equal to a wisdom modifier. Let's say your wisdom modifier is 4. That's a fair number if you're playing a PC that's focused on this. It's 4 potions per day for free.
And to be fair, in a normal adventuring game, you're not having as much time. But in the way we were playing, that'd be like absurd. Because that's like,
no,
if you had
bro,
4 potions a day times 30, that's
no. But even if you don't have time, you can make 4 a day. And
No,
because they say the
what,
rule says it can be sold normally. So
no, what I'm saying is that in a typical adventuring game, you're not having months and months go by over like a short in-game span. But since how we run the game, that'd be a lot of fucking potions.
Yeah. So let's say you're a 5th level druid, which isn't crazy. That's fairly low level. You get there pretty quickly. With this ability, in a 14, a +4 wisdom, you can make 4 3rd level potions a day for free. You pay 0 gold, and then you can turn around and sell those. Those market value is $750, but obviously as a PC, you generally sell it for half the price. So you can make 1,500 gold pieces a day as long as you can find a buyer. So if you went to a metropolis, every day you make 1,500 gold pieces. That doesn't sound broken?
I mean, I already agreed with you. I thought that sounds pretty strong.
But my hope, like this is like the end game of any edition. They always just start throwing anything they can at it to come up with something creative and new and different to compete with everything else that's broken. It's like, yeah, no, that ain't gonna fly. I'm not letting that in there. No. Usually I let rules as written be rules as written, but this is some bullshit.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's an NPC. For a PC, that's less strong because you lose an animal companion, which is really, really good.
But you're making 1,500 gold pieces a day. Again, not consistently, but consistent enough.
Yeah, but you're not gonna you're gonna probably just use those potions. Let's be fair. In an adventure, I mean, maybe in your games, 1,500 gold's a lot, but in like a typical Pathfinder game,
even still a day. So if you look at,
I mean, I agree. It's really
Pathfinder
strong
rewards.
stuff,
So even if with Pathfinder rewards, oh fuck, you give me like Pathfinder cars. What's the word you say?
I agree. It's pretty broken.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I hear you agreeing. I'm just looking at the. Sorry, we're gonna have to end the stream, but so if wealth by level at 5th level, APC should have about 10,500 gold pieces for standard Pathfinder, right? So that 5th level character can now in 8 days, 7 days, double their wealth. In a week, they double their wealth, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's way too powerful.
You
I don't
can
know why they would
literally,
even allow that.
Jake. Oh my God, Nick. I got good news for you, baby. You send her up to Kajixio, and every day when she hits 5th level, she can make 1,500 gold pieces for you. Right? That means hold on. Let's do this math on this one. So 1,500.
Let's be real here, Scott. When my people leave my city, they die.
What? No.
She would get
What?
attacked while on the road.
They never come back.
She can earn you 11 BP a month.
Okay, and I'd still be making less than Cell or Jake. So I don't see what your problem is.
That's crazy. She could literally make you 11 BP a month in just
Now-
potions.
That's
Yeah.
also, let's be
Okay.
real. You're probably not gonna find buyers consistently for that high of priced potions, even this like in Kajinxi. You might
So-
you might have like the like the big people buy them like for the first couple weeks, but like I mean eventually they're not gonna just like keep buying potions.
So in a metropolis like New York City, right? Or like London or what have you, you will always have a buyer.
Yeah, but
You know
that's
what I
when
mean?
you have like the local alchemist association come in and
And like
Try to
kill
kill
you.
you.
Like they'll assassinate you.
No. You just pay your dues, right? So even if like your taxes and
No,
your
but you're ruining the
association fees and so
market.
forth, then what you're doing is because you have to have it available. It's also an attraction for people to come buy your wares. You only sell 4 a day. You know what I mean? Like, which you don't have to. You could actually sell more than 4 a day, right? You can sell 8 a day. You just have to pay the half cost to make the other 4. But that just compensates for she could still make that price. She just sells 8 instead of 4 to still make that amount of profit a day.
It adds
like-
a caveat that though NPCs aren't familiar, the druidic herbals may need some convincing before they purchase these wares. It's a healing potion. That's all convincing you need. What?
But
He's-
then also she's the Fey type, so she also adds like her level to like to what's it called
Diplomacy?
Diplomacy checks or whatever. So she's also like, look at me, I'm hot. You just buy my shit, and you're like, okay, it's Instagram. Like,
Yeah,
know?
that's absurd. That's
Yeah.
should not be. I don't know why Paizo published that one. That's wild.
Oh, I know why. It's because you were competing. You had new editions coming out in other systems, and everything else is broken. Once Brawler and all of those came out, all the other classes got boring because they weren't as powerful because the game was already broken. So you had to break the other classes to keep them viable. But either way, so I am going to end here. I told Brittany an hour ago, I was like, oh yeah, we'll be ending soon. That happened. So let's get out of here. We'll see you guys Wednesday morning. I'm assuming I'm going to be feeling better Wednesday morning. I'm already feeling a billion times better now. Just tired. It's been a whole day not being comfortable. Just say that. So I will see you guys Wednesday morning. If I end up not going live, it's because I'm going to a doctor again. But otherwise, I will be here. You guys want to say bye?
Bye, chat.
bye.
Bye.
Oh, let's go raid Nick's brother. Yeah, let's go do that.
Maybe next